Oh. Do you know we're live?
Wait, it says we've been live for the past 40 seconds.
No, it doesn't. I don't think it does. Anyway, what's up, everybody? How's it going? How you doing, man?
I am good, Spence. How are you doing today?
I'm excited because it's Thursday. You know what Thursday means?
Sweet basketball's 16. Back tonight.
Yes, basketball's back today.
What games are tonight?
We have the Michigan game. I'm rooting hard against Michigan.
You're rooting hard against Michigan? I'm rooting for. I'm rooting pretty much for every single underdog. So we have Arkansas, Gonzaga, 7:09 p.m. Eastern. Michigan, Villanova, 7. Wow, they're stacking.
Dude, they're all stacked. I know it's gonna be amazing.
Oh, so like right when the first game hits halftime, we'll be able to go watch.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
The second game, and then when that halftime's over, the second game. Yeah, that's good time.
It's gonna be awesome.
But yeah, I'm rooting for all the underdogs. So Michigan, Arkansas, Texas Tech over Duke, and then Houston over Arizona.
So that's one reason I'm in a good mood, right? Basketball tonight. The other reason is markets are green. We're green, baby.
Green.
We're green. Green on the screen. So,
Did you see Nvidia today?
I haven't looked at the chart. Let's look at the chart. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Was there a headline?
I guess maybe it just took a few days for the investor presentation or investor day.
Wow.
To settle in with Wall Street.
Just seeing. I didn't realize.
They also announced
8.5%. Holy moly!
Like AI autonomous driving deal with Lucid.
No, that was like 2 days ago.
I know. I mean, I don't know.
That was 2 days ago.
I don't see any like big headlines for Nvidia. It's just up 8%.
I mean, it's not just Nvidia though, but look at AMD, and we know Intel. Nvidia specifically called out Intel. There must be some sector-wide news, or just a sector-wide bid today. Because look at all the chips; they're all up.
Yeah, the Soxel semiconductor bull ETF's up 10%.
But I mean, all tech is up, so it's just a great. I mean, frankly, everything is up. Is every sector in the green today? Let me check. Is every sector up? Yes. Every sector is up. So nothing seems to be up more than the chips right now. But everything is green. That's exciting. Even Facebook's having a really good day, up 2.5%. I saw an article. Where did I see it? Bloomberg? I forget where.
Okay.
Arguing Facebook is a value stock, which is basically what Luke has been saying.
Yeah, well, sure. I think you can make that argument about Facebook, about Apple, about a few big tech companies out there. But the thing with Facebook is it will. I just don't know if this is the price where it's cheap enough to where investors are like super interested in it, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day what Facebook's PE is or anything. It's like what we talked about with Tim Quast. That market prices are really driven by supply and demand. So it's all about what someone's willing to pay for Facebook. And I just think there are more interesting names out there. Like I would 10 times out of town rather invest in Nvidia or AMD over Facebook right now, or some of these companies that I think will grow more. But with that said, eventually, if Facebook keeps going down, it'll get to a price where people are like, hey, this is cheap, and then they're willing to buy it there, and it'll come back up. So maybe that's happening right now. Maybe it's already hit that price, but I'm not in Facebook right now.
No. All right, so we got a lot to get to today. We're going to talk about this thing. Basically, we're going to talk about basketball. We're actually going to talk about basketball later because we're going to bring on Chris Katje at 1 o'clock. We're going to go over our picks for the weekend, like Sweet 16 and Elite 8.
Yeah, and then we're going to bring on Cowboy as well. So we're going to get 2 rounds of picks.
That's later.
Later.
But while Chris is on, though, we are going to do our weekly trivia segment on this show. We're going to do NFT-themed trivia.
God.
I know.
I'm not going to do well on that.
Neither am I. And we're going to do really bad.
Oh, I have a trivia question for you.
It's going to be really bad. That'll be at like 1:15, 1:30 today.
I have a trivia question for you, Spencer.
Okay, hold that thought, though. We're going to have Vivi, the Bio Queen, on in like a couple of minutes here, 10 minutes, 11:45. I hope Hot Stocks Luke can join us, but who else do we have? We have
Zaheer Anwari coming on at around 12:45, I believe. And then, Zaheer runs his own trading website as well as contributes for Benzinga. And he's over across the pond, as they say, in somewhere in the UK, I believe.
Good day, mate.
So I think that's Australia. No,
yeah.
I don't know. Either way, we'll get Zaheer on, and then we also will have David Menyan, the newly appointed CEO.
Wait, I'm just finding out about this. I know that was confirmed. That's confirmed?
Yeah, well, I hope Luke can. Luke and David they have like a bromance or something. But
I don't know what that's about.
If for whatever reason Luke can't come on, then I'll talk to David and well, yeah. I mean, it's always
Wait.
fun.
What time is that happening? I didn't even know that was happening. So you just said it.
12:15 p.m.
Oh, damn.
Eastern. David Menyan, CEO of CarParts, newly appointed. Love talking to CEOs on the show, especially when they're brand new CEOs. So he's been on the show before, but this will be his first time appearing on the show as the CEO of CarParts.
Should we ask him how does that conversation go? Like,
oh, hey, you're a CEO now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've been waiting for someone to have that conversation with me here at Benzinga, but
get in line. Are you kidding me?
Hasn't happened.
Get in line, man. Anyway, smash that like. Here we go. This is Benzinga Live. This is Benzinga Live. Spencer Israel and producer AB. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
Someone told me buy high, sell higher. So.
Let's get Matt Hammond on the show to talk some IPOs. Jake Wojacek from Trend Spider. We have a breaking news.
All right, can I ask you your trivia question?
The trivia thing. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, how many operating blimps are there in the world?
Oh, that's a good one. How many operating blimps are there in the world? Wow. Give me a second to think this one over.
All right.
I'm going to guess 1,000.
25. 26 if you count your mom.
That's uncalled for, sir. Uncalled for, sir. 25 blimps? Really?
Really?
In the whole world?
Yep. As of 2021, there are approximately 25 blimps still in existence.
And how many of them does Goodyear own?
Half of which are still actively used for advertising purposes. I don't know. I think Goodyear might only have one blimp. I think it just makes its rounds at all the biggest sporting events.
That's amazing.
25 blimps.
I was way off. I was trying to go under, too.
I know.
I was trying to go below what I thought it was. And I went
anytime there's a trivia question like that, you got to assume it's like surprisingly low or surprisingly high. But
I thought I was going under. I guess I wasn't.
Nope, 25 in the world. That's about like one blimp for every 500 million people.
Yeah,
it's not enough blimps.
I'm sure. If imagine being long blimps when the Hindenburg happened, that would not be a good situation.
Yeah, but is now a good time to go long blimps? Maybe maybe there needs to be a supplier that comes in. Maybe the demand just isn't there for blimps.
Well, we have drones now, so who needs blimps when you have drones, right?
I guess. Yeah. Have you ever been in a hot air balloon or anything?
Almost.
Okay.
No. What happened was I went to a festival, a hot air balloon festival, but the weather was really bad, so we didn't get to do anything, or I didn't get to go on one.
So
that's why I almost got to go on one.
There used to be at the golf course I worked at in college, there would always be these people flying their hot air balloons over the golf course.
Yeah.
I just it'd be scary. I feel like being in a little basket, like thousands of feet in the air, and you're relying on this tarp thing with hot air being blown into it.
Yep.
I don't know. I've been in a hot air balloon that got blown up while we were on the ground. We didn't take off.
Yeah.
And even that was kind of scary.
All right. I asked Ariel, my fiance, I was like, how would you have felt if I proposed in a hot air balloon? She was like, I would have killed you. Like she wouldn't have gone in the first place, so it wouldn't have worked. But anyway, hey, trending stock of the day. Let's start there. Let's go to Nikola, and then we're going to bring on Vivi.
Are you in this stock, Spencer?
Get real. Are we surprised to see this price action off the open? We are not, is the answer. That was rhetorical. We're not surprised to see this, okay? So if you missed it, the headline was that not only did Nikola start production on their truck, they started production on their truck like a month ahead of schedule. So that's cool. They're still guiding between 300 and 500 trucks produced this year. Stock was ripping after hours, ripping again this morning. and we've gone straight down from the open. So hardly a surprise. Bag holders galore in this stock. Every pop, I just, as a general rule of thumb, all right, every pop in any EV stock, let's rephrase that. Any pop in any non-Tesla EV stock should be a pop to sell for the foreseeable future until proven otherwise, until somebody, whether it's Nikola or Workhorse or Ride or EV Go or Electromechanica or Helion or any of them, near term, long term, there are going to be clear winners. Long term, some of these companies are going to be making good. They're actually going to make stuff, right? But short term, I'm talking short term, pops to sell. We're seeing that today.
I don't disagree. And at the end of the day, I mean, Nikola, this is great news for Nikola that they're producing their.
It's great. It's great
their
news.
EV truck, but it's more important. Like, I want to see what happens once production's finished. Like, once they hit the road, are they outperforming expectations, or are they, lackluster trucks? We will see. But I think Nikola here. The other big thing is, I mean, Tesla's been talking about their semi trucks. Nikola's beating Tesla in terms of who's producing first. So I guess it'll be a longer run to see if Nikola or maybe even a different someone like Ford or someone comes in with on their fleet model and says, okay, Tesla, you wanted to be a big player in the semi space, but you took too long because we beat you. And that's what Nikola's trying to do. That's what other companies are trying to do. So if you're long Tesla for their like semi truck thing, I would be worried. I'd say, where's our production of the? I've actually seen videos of the semi trucks like being driven around the Teslas.
Yeah, but
I don't know. Like, I guess they're not producing them, like mass producing them yet.
No, they're not. Also, the Cybertruck has. What happened to the Cybertruck? That's just gone.
That's what I don't think. I don't know if we'll ever see the Cybertruck. I don't know if we'll ever see the Roadster.
The Roadster's gone, man.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. There were a bunch of pre-orders for the Roadster, like tens of thousands, gone.
Wait, no, the Roadster? That was Tesla's OG.
Yeah, but they came out. They were gonna come out with like a new Roadster.
Oh, they were? I
like last year, 2 years ago, and they took a bunch of pre-orders for it, and now they like scrapped that.
All right, I forgot that. Sorry.
I think they said it was like too fast to be street legal.
Oh yeah, that was what he said. That's what he said.
It's like, okay, just make it a little bit slower. You have people that have paid like thousands of dollars for deposits. I don't know. I mean,
look, there's going to be a clear winner in this space. Someone besides Tesla. The opportunity is too big. Who is it going to be? Lord only knows. Okay. Of note, we are going to have a special EV focused show next Wednesday, all about EVs. So stay tuned for that. But in the near term, they're all show me stories, right? Show me you can make vehicles, and then we'll talk.
Well, that's what's so interesting with the Cybertruck to me is, and I get like having the Cybertruck as not, I don't want to call it a pet project, but there are things that maybe are more complicated with it. But Tesla and Elon Musk should know just how popular pickup trucks are in the United States. We've talked about it with David Menyon, who will be coming on the show from CarParts. Just that like such a high percentage of vehicles sold in the United States are pickup trucks. And the fact that Tesla has been producing electric vehicles that they have actually been on the road for the past 5, 6, 7 years, and they haven't just put out some sort of a standard pickup truck, to me seems like a very questionable business decision.
Yeah, I agree.
Like even if the Cybertruck has these problems and you need to push it back, sure, but you can just put out like a basic Tesla pickup truck.
Yeah. Just do it. It's the most popular car in the U.S. It has been for 15 years.
Yeah, and you're a U.S. manufacturer. You can say, hey, do you want to buy, this pickup truck or one from, Toyota, whatever. I mean, so.
All right, let's bring on Vivi the Bio Queen. I did not write down the tickers from last week's segment. I'm really hoping she did, because I was not writing. So we had some questions. Vivi promised she was gonna write down the one she didn't know and answer them. Let's see how we did. Let's bring Vivi on the show right now. Yo, Vivi, how we doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good, good. Do we have a list of tickers from last week? Because I didn't write them down.
Yes, we do. We're supposed to cover two tickers. So I have two
Okay.
tickers here. One was DNA, remember?
Yes, and they report earnings next week. Full disclosure.
Okay, so I look at it. I don't understand a lot about genetic testing. It's not my field.
Okay.
But for what I'm looking at, they are producing revenues, and they're estimating that they're gonna be do like 100 million in sales this year. So
Seems high.
as far as just browsing through, it looks really good. They have a partnership with the spa company to do testing for COVID too. But they partner with a lot of companies. So that's from my understanding. Unfortunately, the field of a gene testing, it's not my field, but just by looking at their corporate presentation, it looks pretty good, especially at this price level. So it'll be interesting it would be interesting to put an alert for earnings next week.
I believe. Oh wait, it says it right here. Monday after the close. Look at that.
Okay, interesting.
All right, what was the other one?
I would definitely, if I were you guys and you guys like that company, I would definitely look at the call if they have calls, the option flow, how bullish they are for earnings. Another one that we did, it was SONN. So my problem with that is below $1. There's not a single molecule past phase 1. There's only one in phase 1. Everything is preclinical. And the phase 1 is for neuropathy, which is already very, it's a crowded market. They already, have drugs for that. I wouldn't touch until at least it's above 1, because like I told you guys, reverse splits, are they going to be able to be compliant within 6 months? And I've been caught on companies that, they have a 5 months to be compliant, and then the next day they're offering a reverse split, and you lose like 40% of your gains. So I would be cautious here for sure. Okay. And another one that they look at, it was BFRI. They're like a dermatology company. Definitely, if you look at the yearly chart, see, definitely is not worth $15 a share, but I think at $7 a share is a fair price for this company. They have like $40 million in cash, and their burn rate is low, and their revenues are projected to go up 50% this year, and also they have 3 label extensions coming up. So definitely something to be on the lookout. I would look out when is it going to be earnings here as well. Do you guys know?
Nah, let me check. I don't. Oh yeah, no, it's unconfirmed. So no.
It's not confirmed?
No.
Yeah, so
so it'll be approximately the first week of April. We don't know when though.
Okay. Yeah. Then I wanted to brag a little bit, because I talked to you guys about this company, and it's been up 100% since I mentioned. So it's SPPI.
SPPI, you said?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, you mentioned that last week.
It was a couple of weeks ago. I mentioned it again last week, but it's mentioned at 71 cents. So almost 100% gains here. I believe that finally, because there's some manufacturing issues, that this company is going to have the product.
Yeah, you said the drug didn't get approved because of manufacturing, not because the drug itself.
Exactly. So there's no additional trials required. So I'm bullish. I'm still holding here. I feel like there was just an article on Yahoo talking about 1,000% potential and returns in this company, especially if the product gets approved. So, and what's the yearly chart? $7.
I mean, they all look the same. Yeah. So the high from June was it looks like 450, give or take. And now we're at $1.30. So these all look identical. So yeah, some people are going to make some money buying the dips here. I mean, they already did in SPPI. But that's a tough game.
Yeah, no, for sure. At least they're above one, which is they're compliant, so that's some good news. And then another one I wanted to mention, you guys, because people said that it's getting a little traction, is NSPR. I lost so much money on that company because we're just too early. NSPR. So, it's just been consolidating here. They were the ones that went to reverse split, like was below one, and I got caught on that. But when they get closer to their FDA approval for their stent in the United States, it would be definitely a product company that I'll be looking at again. So I just need to figure out when is the date. I think we still have a year away. Do we have any questions on the chat?
Let's see.
Any tickers?
I don't see any biotech questions yet, but if you do guys have any questions in the chat, let us know. Any tickers you want us to check out while we got Vivi on. Vivi, I've got a question for you. Can you guess what the number one, the highest weighting in the XBI Spider Biotech index is?
Guess. Wow. Okay.
I also want to guess.
All right, Spencer, you go first.
Is in
XBI?
Let me
guess.
Right.
Johnson?
No.
All right, I want to guess Biogen.
Nope.
Abby?
What is it?
Nope. It's Ocugen. OCGN.
Oh, wow.
What?
I know. I was surprised when I saw that.
Wait, can you ask Vivi your other trivia question?
Oh,
wait, Aaron has a great trivia question. It's not about biotech at all.
Yeah, Vivi, how many blimps do you think are in the world?
Blimps?
Yeah, like the big things that fly around in the sky.
Like those giant balloons.
Oh yeah, I know. With the that they put
right.
The Goodyear, the Goodyear blimps.
How many do you think? How many do you think there are in the world?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I guessed. I guessed 1,000, and I was way off.
There's 198 countries, I think.
I think there are more.
Wow.
I think
all right. I don't know. I had no idea.
Okay, so something on that matter. I would say 3,000.
25. There's only 25. Wait, you were exact. You said 195 countries. I think that's exactly right.
That's incredible.
Good job.
There's only 25 in the whole world?
That's what the internet's telling me.
That's what the internet said. Internet doesn't lie, Vivi. We know this.
That's crazy.
Oh, wait. Okay. So we have some questions from the chat now. Hold on.
But yeah, so Ocugen, Moderna, and then CareDx. I don't even know this one. CDNA.
That's no wonder why XBI. It's
I know, right? Ocugen was like a meme stock. Ocugen was the one that ran up like 100% in one day a few months ago.
Okay, no wonder why XBI can never bounce. Jeez. Okay, I had no idea. That's a good trivia question for biotech.
All right, Vivi, bingo, BNGO, please. We've talked about this one a lot.
Yes, they have their machines. We need to just to see what's gonna happen. When is their earnings? I own it long term because I believe in this little company, but I've been bad and because everything went down the hill. I only have 1,000 shares, but we need to check. I'll give you guys an update on that. How's that sound next time around?
Okay.
Figure out what the numbers are.
I feel like this whole just like genomics space, and maybe Spencer, can you pull up the ARC genomics ETF? Yeah. I feel like this whole space has just continued to been getting beat up, and it's one of those things that to me, like, I get the appeal to it and the future use cases, but when we talk about this all the time, you can be too early, right? If you invest in things that are still 10 years down the line from being feasible and from being profitable, you can just be too early. So I don't know. I think I'd rather invest in this genomic space once we start seeing more and more of those use cases popularized rather than it being, okay, this is some technology that we may use 10 years down the road.
Yeah, so Kathy Woods invests big on these genomic companies, because she's visionary. She looks at she likes to invest in growth stocks, not necessarily stocks like Apple, and I mean she has some Apple, but you guys know what I mean, just growth stocks, just potential. And her portfolio is getting beat up, but she does have a lot of these innovative companies that have a potential to be huge one day.
Yeah, and I like that the long-term investing outlook 100%, but I want both. I want to be able to make money in the short term, and also invest in companies that are going to grow a lot long term.
So can we talk about SPY? Are we going to 450 today?
Oh, let's talk about SPY.
Are we going to 450 today? Yeah, we could do it. Why not?
Jeez. And then what a bounce. Everything bounced really, really good, you know, from 2 hours ago. Apple, Tesla, Amazon, everything started bouncing.
Nvidia.
Yeah, Nvidia. Yes, yes, crazy. So
Wait.
I will check bingo for you guys. No more questions.
Okay. Oh, wait, a couple more. Mist. MIST. What is that?
Never heard of that. Okay.
Milestone Pharmaceuticals, $6. Not very widely traded. Wow, what's happened there the past couple of weeks? So we'll put that on the list for next time. Progenity, PROG. This one, I think they also
holding long. I believe in Progenity.
All right, they report earnings. Their earnings are on Monday. So you know,
it's not gonna do much because they're still doing all the testing. But I have a little bit, and I'm holding long for sure. I'm a believer.
All right.
And then I wanted to tell you guys, I'm gonna release on my channel, which is the Bio Queen, the interview with the processor, pharmaceutical PCSA. I was telling you guys, I was very fascinated with the background of the CEO because he used to work closely with the FDA. And there's a drug there. There's no drug approved for NL. So check out my channel. I'm releasing the interview with him today. So it's still in the early stages, but very promising company for sure. And he put most of his money back in the company, so he's heavily, insider invested. That company, which says a lot. That's for me. It's like the CEO has to have a skin in the game. If you have a skin in the game and you're building your own company, it's like you are all in, right? You're working around the clock. And then you see these little biotech companies that keep feeding the CEO, and CEO has never put his own money into it. And that's, for me, is a huge red flag.
This is an interesting question. Potential buyout for Biogen. Do you see that happening at all? Biogen's a big company.
Who's gonna
or maybe the question is they're asking about companies. No, I think they're asking about Biogen specifically. So,
but who's gonna afford Biogen?
Who's gonna Biogen's it's $30 billion. So who's gonna pay $35 billion or $40 billion? For Biogen right now.
Biogen got a lot of heat for that Alzheimer's drug. Remember?
Yeah.
They got a lot of heat on that.
Speaking of that, you can actually, that's interesting that you bring that up. So you can see it on the chart, June of last year. That was when the drug got approved. And at the time, Biogen was at, call it 270. We're at 212 now. Oh, you guys can't see my chart. Sorry.
Wasn't there another company that had an Alzheimer's drug that was, or is Biogen the only one?
Biogen's the one.
Oh no, for approval, yeah, but there's a lot of companies that are researching it. And that's going to be a lot of scrutiny because if they approve a drug that's pretty much very similar to placebo, what's going to happen to the new molecules coming in, So, I mean, to the point that doctors don't want to see Biogen reps, and the reps have nothing to do with that. There's
do you think, Viv, are there any trends that you think are developing in healthcare in general right now that maybe as the baby boomer population continues to age, that maybe people are overlooking? Maybe it is Alzheimer's, or maybe it's something else that people are overlooking right now.
Not that I can think of, but I do believe that the future, it is telemedicine is going to stay here, so investing companies with the telemedicine is huge. I particularly if I don't have to go to the doctor, I'll just schedule a telehealth appointment. It's more efficient, unless they wanted to look at it to skin or something. But I feel like those companies were not going to go away for sure. And I think there's a lot of people with money that do there's a name for it that's growing tremendously. It's pretty much where you pay a membership fee, so you don't deal with insurance, and the doctor is on call anytime you need. It's there's a name for it. I'm gonna remember, but it's
so you just pay to have a doctor on retainer instead of
it's pretty much a membership fee, and the doctor is on your disposal. The doctor does home calls. It's just for the really, really wealthy concierge.
Okay.
concierge healthcare is growing tremendously.
Is there any way to? Are there any like publicly traded like cosmetic surgery, like plastic surgery companies out there? I think that'd be interesting.
There must be.
So there's one that the marketing and they're super sold out is their air scoped. So the air scoped company, so let me show you guys, is the AIRS.
AIRS.
So it's pretty much what they do. They do laser light. No, AIRS.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, they do. Air Sculpt Technologies is a fat removal treatment under its brand Elite Body Sculpture. It provides body custom contouring using proprietary Air Sculpt method that removes unwanted fat.
Let me explain to you guys how it is. It's a pretty big like marketing scam because it's pretty much laser lipo. You know, but this doctor branded as his laser lipo as the air scoped, right? It's a very thin cannula that goes in. You don't need stitches, and they melt the fat instead of doing like the cheese grater when you do a lipo. And there's
what?
Yeah, they call like the cheese grate. They take liposuction. They put you under anesthesia, and they take the cannula and they kind of.
I don't want to know anymore. Stop. I don't want to know anymore. Please, please.
They shred your.
please,
and then remove it. So this company, it's like they call the lunch lipo because you do the lipo the next day, you don't have a lot of pain, and because the cannula is very small, you go in, you're not under full anesthesia. And they remove the fat by melting with laser. But here's the thing. They're opening a lot of places everywhere, like my friends in Miami. So it's a company that has a lot of potential for growth. And they're like, my friend said that they're booked like nonstop. So definitely a company that I would definitely be on the lookout for sure.
I don't really have any data to back it up, but I feel like I've been hearing about more and more people going to get like cosmetic surgeries and stuff. So that's why I was asking if there's any way to invest in it.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's one of the companies, AirScoped. For sure.
Right, I'll do some.
I mean, in MERS is another really good company, MERZ. They have this.
MERZ.
They have this therapy that builds collagen. So you just pretty much.
Yeah, like who makes Botox?
So who makes Botox is Allergan, but then you have Galderma is a private company, does the competition, and then you have a MERS that does.
Is it Allergan publicly traded? No.
Yes. Yeah.
Allergan, no. They got bought.
No, Allergan got bought by AbbVie, so that's AbbVie.
Oh, okay. So I just got to buy AbbVie to buy Botox.
Yeah,
is what you're saying. All right, I can do that. AbbVie is a good stock, by the way. It's been doing well.
It is very good stock.
Strong dividend.
For sure.
All right, well, Vivi, before you come on next week, I'll
wait. No, she's out. Vivi, tell us. Wait, when are you back? Because you're out for a little bit.
Wait, what the hell?
I'm heading to Fiji tonight, and then.
Oh my God.
And then I'm gonna go to Florida for work. So I'll see you guys back 3 weeks from now.
In April.
On the 30th.
Yeah. Wait, what were you about to say? Sorry.
I was just saying, Vivi's always going somewhere really cool. Fiji, San Diego, Miami, you name it. Vivi's out there on beach somewhere in Mexico. But I was just going to say, Vivi, before you come on next time, I'll do my own research on a few other kind of plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery names, and we can go through them and see if there's anything to like or dislike about any of those names.
Yeah, no, AirSculpt is a good one for potential growth.
I thought you just said it was a marketing scam.
But it is what I'm saying. No. What I'm saying is they're busy and they're very smart on their branding because pretty much what it is laser lipo, but they brand themselves as AirSculpt and they're being very, very successful. That's what I'm saying. So if you go to YouTube, there's a lot of personalities, a lot of people that give their own input.
All right, I'll pass on the YouTube plastic surgery liposuction content.
Yeah, Vivi, what does your YouTube suggestions look like? Is it all just different medical devices?
I don't need to know this. I don't need to know this.
I like watching that stuff. It's interesting. Anyways, good to see you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Vivi.
Weeks.
All right. Wait, Tiny Pie, is that true that Ireland is the world's supplier of Botox? I don't know anyone that, to my knowledge, has gotten plastic surgery or lipo. I'm completely ignorant about all that stuff, and I'm happy with that. I don't need to know more. I don't need to know about liposuction and how that works. I learned a little bit too much, I think, just now.
Yeah, the worst was during or like when LASIK was first a thing. I remember like I had like a teacher who played us a video of like,
where they cut it, right? Don't they like?
they were
cut
like
your-
rake. They had like
Yeah.
a mini rake and they were like raking the
Yeah,
eyeball,
yeah,
and I was just
yeah.
like, God, this is awful. My mom's in medicine in like the field, and she always like wanted me, and I was just like, I don't get like queasy by blood or anything. I just don't like that stuff enough to like be around it.
Yeah. Well, Botox is different because Botox has like people can get Botox injections for all sorts of things, right? If you have like muscle damage, right? Botox will like relax your muscles. So, but I kind of put Botox in like a different category because it has other medical uses besides just people who want to get rid of wrinkles, right? So, anyway, 12:07, we're gonna have Dave Menion from CarParts on at 12:15. Is that right? Yes.
What up?
We're gonna have Dave Menion on in 8 minutes. Is that
Yep,
true?
David Menion.
All right, cool. Great. So that's in 8 minutes. Before we get to that, I wanted to remind y'all. I wonder if we should do this now or wait till Chris comes on. But actually, you know what? Let's just wait till Chris comes on. No. Let's do part of it now, and the other part we'll do with Chris. So, stock market madness, right?
Stock market madness.
Wait a minute. Luke Jacobi wants to come on. No, he doesn't. I'm so confused. Luke, what are you doing over here? All right, Luke is trying to like mess with me, and I don't know. I don't like it. So let me just keep talking. All right. Stock market madness, guys. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to put the link up in the chat and on the screen. Wait, what is he doing? What are you doing, man? What do you want?
Can I hop in?
Yeah, you want to come in?
I get 15 minutes a week.
You get more than that. You get an hour a week. You just choose not to use it.
Wait,
All right.
MD, you're saying Botox was created for migraines? And then they found it?
I believe that. All right. Well, we'll come back to stock market madness, but Luke Jacobi has thoughts. He wants everyone to buy Nikola. I heard. Is that true?
Reminder that this show is not for investment advice. The show is for entertainment and informational purposes only. Again, not to be used as investment advice. Mr. Jacobi, you say Facebook's up 2.5% today?
Spencer's chair is uncomfortably warm.
I know, right? I've noticed that too.
All right, we doing Rippy stocks or what are we doing?
Facebook up 2% today, up to 218. I believe when you gave it to us, it was at 190. So if you got in with Luke, you're already up about $27 a share. Not bad.
Yeah, long and strong Facebook still. Not going to pitch it again. But if you want a place to start, look at EV to EBITDA, look at cash flow from operations. I think that, and I'll be dramatic here. Don't run with this. Do your own thing. But I think that Facebook is going to be one of those trades that we look back at 12 months from now, and it's going to be like, this is one of the biggest no-brainer trades of all time. How do you have a stock like Facebook trading at less than 5 times forward EV to EBITDA? That's nuts, right? It got shaken out with the tech sell-off, a lot of which is justified. Favorite example, Peloton. All fitness fads are exactly that, fads. But I think that Facebook is one of those trades. And give me what else do you want to talk about? You want to go to Netflix? Netflix, same thing.
I've been in Netflix, Luke. I believe you are too. But
yeah, we haven't talked about this one in a while.
But kind of for the same. And here, I'll go to a daily chart real quick. Kind of for the same reason. I mean, to me, and if I just go to the overview, Netflix is trading at a 5.7 price to sales PE, still relatively high, just like historically. It's PE's above 30, but in terms of like a big growing tech company, to have a PE around 30 is not high by any means. And Luke, at the end of the day, this was a $700 stock, 3 months ago? Like you can't tell me, you can't convince me that Netflix is worth half of what it was 3 months ago.
Yeah, but it's not even convincing. I'm loading the numbers right now. Let's just dive straight into it. Because Netflix is another one. Same pitch that I've been doing for Facebook. I'm long Netflix in size. Similar sort of situation. Okay, so zoom out on the chart. Oh, you already have it zoomed out. So you see the major correction that happened. Let's look at the numbers. You got Netflix trading at forward price to sales ratios. That's the market cap divided by the revenue that they're going to get next year at 4.4. EV to EBITDA forward on Netflix is 24. Are those numbers crazily cheap in the same way that they are about Facebook? No, Facebook is way cheaper, and that's why I'm pounding the table on Facebook, and I am much more convicted in that one. But Netflix is a stock that's continuing to grow revenue at almost 20% a year. A massive, massive stock that's continuing to grow revenue at almost 20% a year. Other things that you have going on for it, Dan Loeb, hedge fund manager, big name. If you don't know him, check him out. But bought a very sizable position, and then you also have the Netflix CEO loading up with a very sizable position on the sell-off as well. So Netflix, I think, is very similar story. Not as good of a story. That's why I don't talk about it as much, but I am definitely long.
You also had Pershing Square Ackman take a position in Netflix.
There you go. Boom.
Andy O in the chat saying he's bearish Netflix compared to competitors. Well, Andy O, I implore you to drop the names in the space that you do like. Maybe a short thesis why you do like them. I don't even know. I mean,
or why you don't like Netflix.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a consumer of the product, which sort of sucks. For picking.
Do you want to use my Netflix account?
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't use that.
I know there's nothing really good on there. You have Disney,
but I'm just looking at it from a pure number standpoint. You've got a mega cap stock that's still growing sales at 20% year on year. You've got positive operating cash flow. You're trading at 4 times forward sales, 23 times forward EBITDA. Yes, that's expensive, but with that sales growth, you should get some decent EBITDA margin expansion.
Wait,
that's the thinking.
Viacom changed its ticker.
VIAC.
It's not pulling up.
Okay.
Viacom is another one that we should talk about just because it's, I believe, crazy cheap right now.
All right, another one. We talked about this one last week too. You want to do Rivian for a second or no?
Yeah. Did I tell you I saw Rivian?
I want to get to CarParts.
We will. 2 minutes. David Menyon, newly appointed CEO of CarParts.com, joining the show here in 2 minutes at 12:15 p.m. Eastern. Let's rip through Rivian real quick, and that'll be a nice segue into CarParts.com.
Yeah, Rivian, opposite story of a Facebook. And right now, I'm much more of a stock picker than a swing trader. When we've been experiencing this chop, we're now in month 3, right, of markets off of their highs, crypto way off of their highs. It's made me much more of a stock picker than a swing trader. It's gotten harder to be a swing trader, I think. Rivian, one of those stocks that I think is a little bit the opposite of a Facebook type story. You don't really have revenue to speak of yet. And you've got a market cap of $42 billion. You're on Benzinga Pro?
I am on Benzinga Pro.
All right. See if you have an operating cash flow on there. So go to the financials.
All right, let's go to financials. We'll go to income.
Give me cash flow. I don't know if you'll have it because it's such a new issue.
Operating. Total cash flow from operating activities?
Yep. What do you have?
Minus 685 million.
All right. There you go. How am I playing Rivian? I'm short. You're going to love this.
Okay.
Stock's at 46 right now.
All right.
Or I'm actually long the puts. So I'm short it via puts.
Okay.
At $60 strike.
So you have $60 puts and the stock is currently at $46. When's the expiry?
Yeah. And I got plenty of time. January 2023.
So I'm
already up 100% on the trade.
Yeah, and the intrinsic value of these contracts are going to be like $1,500 each, and that's not even taking into account the time.
Let's get this thing down to 20. Stock goes to 20.
If it gets to 20, you can buy a Rivian. I know you're in the market for a new car.
Yeah, I am.
Getting a Rivian would be kind of cool.
Yes.
Especially if you could say that you bought it on Rivian puts.
Yes. Yeah.
Not even long the stock, but short it, and then you buy the put.
If the stock goes to 20, I can take out a good chunk of that car.
Let's transition to car parts.
All right. One of our favorite recurring guests.
Friend of the program.
Former COO. Now CEO. David, let's bring him onto the stream. Do you have a nice little bumper video?
I do. Let's give David the special intro.
All right. David Menyon, CEO, CarParts.com. We're talking ticker PRTX. That's Papa Romeo Tango Sandy. David, what is going on, man?
What's up, guys? Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. It hasn't been very long since we last spoken. A matter of
you
weeks.
missed me.
A matter of weeks. A lot's changed.
Yes, lots changed. Yes.
Wait,
Had a baby
David,
girl. I turned 39, and I'm the newly appointed CEO. Yes, 3 different things.
Wow.
wow, congrats! So you had a baby, birthday, and now you're the CEO. I think you logged onto our platform and just kept your name the same because it still says COO on your end. But that
It's okay. I got nothing to prove.
okay. Well, we got it up there now. CEO, congratulations. What's changed?
Wait. Hold on. What did you name the baby girl?
Victoria, after my grandmother.
Amazing. Okay. That was important. I wanted to make sure we got that out of the way.
If it was a boy, I would have named him Luke, but didn't get that chance.
There we go. All right, I'll take that. But yeah, I mean, give us the voiceover of what's happened. We're used to you joining us, and we always love chatting with you. With the COO title. Now you're coming to us as the CEO. Break it down for anybody who hasn't been following the story.
Sure. Yeah. So CarParts.com is one of the fastest growing online retailers. We sell auto parts, collision, and replacement. And what makes us unique is that we source directly from Asia and Europe. We bring the parts in our warehouse and we ship them directly to consumers. So what you can get is the same quality as the national brands at half the price.
Great. And then the news that happened maybe 2 weeks ago now at this point is that the former CEO went to CarLotz, which is ticker LOTZ. What happened there? Talk us through that. As I'm a shareholder and I want to understand what happened there.
Sure. Yeah. Listen, my friend Lev, and for those of you who don't know, Lev and I have been friends for 20 years. Went to business school together. He spent 10 years at this company. There's actually a misconception that he only spent 3 years. Originally was there for 7 years, left, came back as CEO. I joined shortly thereafter. So he spent half of his professional life at this company. It decided that it was time for a change. It was an opportunity at CarLotz. I'm excited because it's an opportunity for me to step up and crush the enemy. And I'll tell you, we have a great team, great business. We've doubled the size of the business in 3 years. And the intent is we're going to do this again. So obviously, super excited about the opportunity, super excited to represent the shareholders. And just like you, Luke, I'm a shareholder myself. So super happy for Lev, but happy for us to double down on the business and crush the enemy.
Okay, I like it. And were you surprised when he left and went to CarLotz? Or was it something that you knew that was happening, or did you find out about it and it all happened quickly? I'm always curious how those sort of things transpire.
Lev and I have been friends for a long time, so obviously I was in the know.
Okay.
Happened relatively quickly because CarLotz wanted to bring in someone new. For me, I've been in the business for 3 years. I'm responsible for a big chunk of the business, operations, supply chain, customer service. So out of the 2,200 people, about 1,600 already report to me. So just adding technology, marketing, and ultimately we have a great team, great business, growing, free cash flow positive. So I'm excited.
Awesome.
What's been a small change that maybe we wouldn't think about since you've taken over as CEO? I don't know. Maybe it's something as small as like your parking spot's a little bit better.
Yeah, no, I'm not that picky about my parking spot. I actually have a reserved spot and I never use it. So
okay.
I think you bring up a good point, Aaron. There is always a tendency for a new CEO to come in and mark his territory. I don't have that type of ego. We have an exceptional team. I'm a big shareholder. I love this business. Obviously, every change is an opportunity to double down and go back to the fundamentals. So, I think what we're doing is we're going back to what made us successful 3 years ago and 2 years ago, is mastering the sales and sales margin fundamentals and going back to the basics.
Okay, so you didn't take up the parking spot. Donald Trump on his desk had the Diet Coke button. Did you hear about that, David?
No, I didn't.
He had a button, I swear to God, on his desk in the Oval Office that he would press it and somebody would bring him a Diet Coke.
Yeah, so I don't have that.
You don't
and I don't
have
have
that?
an office.
Okay.
Executives don't have offices. I have a cube and I sit in the middle of the floor with everyone. I don't have a Diet Coke button. And if I want a Diet Coke, I get off my ass and I go pick it up.
Great.
So David, I know one of the biggest selling points for investors was just that for car parts in general, a very low percentage of sales for car parts happen online, especially compared to just e-commerce trends in general. Car parts kind of lags that. What do you think changes, or what changes do you think need to see just overall in the industry to see that number come up, to see more e-commerce happen in the car parts space?
Yeah, that's the huge opportunity. You know, it's a $300 billion market. There's 300 million cars on the road, and the average age of a car on the road is 12 years old. But to your point, the amount of purchases online is low single digits, 4 or 5%. And you compare that to apparel or electronics, where it's 15, 20, sometimes 25. What needs to happen is for a company like us to go out and invest in supply chain, invest in data, expand the assortment, and have a great user experience. It just takes a company to do it. So, you know, Luke was talking about Netflix. And, you know, Netflix was really the biggest player in the space. They created that space. Everyone was going to Blockbuster. So, and eventually Netflix invested and came up with an exceptional business. We just have to do the same thing. Right now, the folks are going to brick and mortar locations because there isn't a better alternative that they know of. But we're a great alternative, both for collision, mechanical, performance and accessories, and EV parts. We need a little time. We need to continue executing, strike first, strike hard, no mercy.
I love it. All right, let me ask you one more question, David. One thing you're most excited about, everything you have going on, what's the one thing that's happening in the business or will be happening in the business that you're most excited about?
I'm excited about our team. You know, for the last 3 years, we spent the majority of our time investing and building an exceptional team. We have incredible talent, technology, marketing, supply chain. We have a lot of military veterans. We have a lot of folks from big companies like Amazon, Home Depot, Walmart. You know, the team we built is exceptional, and I will always be more and more excited about our team. You know, 2 days ago was my birthday, and I treated myself to a trip to Dallas to visit our folks in our warehouse. And I got to spend some time with hundreds of our folks, you know, the material handlers, the packers, the receivers. Our team is exceptional, and I could not be more excited about, you know, continuing to grow the business and working with these folks.
Awesome. All righty. I appreciate it, sir. I love the energy as always.
So Luke, you owe me one thing.
Never
You're going to have to say
Okay.
something. You have to say something for me. I'm not going to say it. You're going to say it.
Oh, car parts to the moon?
PRTS to the moon.
There we go.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you.
Thank you, David. Always a pleasure to have you on.
All right, bye.
All right, take care, man.
All right, y'all. That was David Benyon, newly appointed CEO of CarParts.com, ticker PRTS.
I'm still long and strong the stock, down in it. What I like, my favorite thing about it is right industry, right? If you think about a top-down approach, right, you want to get the right industry and then pick the names within that industry. David cited that 4 or 5% of car parts are sold online versus in brick and mortar. That's the number that gets me the most excited. I think that we have that right industry there, in that it's only a matter of time. So I am long and strong that one. Staying long and strong it. The numbers look good too. If you wanna talk numbers for a second or no?
Yeah, let's talk numbers.
All right. So whenever I pitch a stock, and everybody who's listened to me over the past 2 years knows you need to have two things. You need to have the story. You need to have the numbers line up. If I get both of those, then I'm feeling decent about it. So story side of things is that industry story, right? The fact that it is a big market, only 4 or 5% of car parts are purchased online versus at your O'Reilly's. I was thinking about this when David was talking. I didn't want to say it though, but I went to an AutoZone 2 weeks ago to buy a headlight for my girlfriend's car. Pain in the ass to change in a Jeep. Really big pain in the ass. But that said, I think that you have the right industry there. You move over to the number side of things. What do you think the price to sales ratio is on this one, AB?
I'm gonna guess 7.5.
You got 0.4. All right, you have 15% year-over-year revenue growth, so that's some really nice sales growth. And then you also have that 0.4 price to sales ratio. You look at EV to EBITDA forward, it's 22. That's not cheap. It's not insane. It's not in the hundreds. And we know from talking to David, everybody who listens to the show knows, because we talked to David, I don't think we'd know it if we didn't have him on the show, that margins should expand as sales and revenue expands. we should get some nice EBITDA margin expansion there. Whew. So that's the story there.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, also, let's do this one. Ticker LOTZ, car lots. I've been long that one since January as well. Not in any sort of size. I've been very minorly long that one.
LOTZ, we're down to $1.50. This is one that, is this the one that ran? No, that was Avis. I'm thinking of that ran that one crazy day.
I've pitched this one before. I'm in it from somewhere around 220. It's $1.56 right now. Again, not with any sort of crazy size. I think that the story and I think that the numbers line up, but this stock has just been out of favor for so long that before I move in size, I need to see a little bit of something come back into here.
Wait, what was the old Hertz ticker? Remember when Hertz was at like 20 cents a share and almost went out of business during COVID, and then the stock went crazy?
It was always HTZ, wasn't it?
But it's not. My chart's not going back beyond July 2021.
Oh, because it
was OTC at one point. It was
something happened.
Something weird happened. Someone smarter than me in the chat will remind me. But guys, let us know in the chat what everyone's been watching the past few minutes. I saw people talking about Bitcoin. Let's do another quick check-in on Bitcoin. Oh, wow. I didn't see Bitcoin was up to almost 44,000 today. My levels on Bitcoin, Luke, have been as long as Bitcoin's above 42. I feel good about it. Well, if it dips back below 42, then I'm kind of worried. And then you have
why 42? Where does that come from?
Because if we zoom out on the chart, 40 acts as a really important psychological level. Those round numbers. You have 30,000, you have 40,000, but 42 is where we've actually bounced from a few times. So if we get down to 42, I'd be interested in buying, looking for that bounce. If it breaks through 42, then I'd be bearish, but I never trade. I know you can get out there and do some crazy things to short Bitcoin and stuff. I've never shorted a cryptocurrency.
Yeah, mine for Bitcoin is the 44.5.
44.5?
We've gotten stopped there so many times. Give me 44.5. Feel good about that number, then I think we have 50. Which I would love to see.
And then
love to see.
Similarly with Ethereum, I think anything above you can see right here on the chart. If I zoom in, we hit this level down here right at 2,500 a few times. But then same thing with Bitcoin at the $40,000 level. You have the $3,000 kind of important psychological level. So Ethereum above 3, I like it. Bitcoin above 42, like it. You said 40, what did you, 44.5?
44.5.
44.5 was
That's my number. Capiche?
Yeah. Do you like 44 or 45 more?
What do you mean? Okay. All right. What else? Last one. Put on one new trade yesterday. This is a swing trade. Probably going to stop out of it on a loss sooner than later. Let's talk about Newegg. Negg.
Ooh. I haven't heard about this one in a while. This is a stock that ran. Yeah, you can see it right here on the candle. Ran all the way to $80 at one point last year. Now trading at $5.
Yeah. So let's talk about the why. Obviously, we've had GameStop past couple days, which I love to see. I don't know about you guys. That was the most fun time of my life. Was when we had the GameStop going, AMC going, Bitcoin going, Dogecoin. I mean, it was a blast, right? But in addition to GameStop, we had a ton of other stocks flying as well, right? Remember, we had BlackBerry, Bed Bath & Beyond, Naked Brands, Cost, Tootsie Roll. Who else has more? I'm missing a ton of them. Clover Health. Come on, chat. We need some more.
We said Best Buy, Bed Bath & Beyond. You said BlackBerry.
There were more. The chat will give us more.
Nokia.
Yeah, that was a great one. I had a nice trade in Nokia. But all right. So that happened. GameStop in the headlines again. AMC, Build-A-Bear.
BBW.
That was my favorite.
BBW.
Yes. I haven't been to a Build-A-Bear in a long time. I love Build-A-Bear.
Build-A-Bear.
As an adult, I think Build-A-Bear is awesome.
Build-A-Bear was founded in St. Louis. Fun fact.
Kodak Black. That's a good one. Rocket had 2 days in the glory.
Arcade.
But going back to Build-A-Bear for a second, if you have not treated yourself to a Build-A-Bear, and it's not cheap, It is a blast.
And it's worth splurging on the little audio thing that makes the bear talk.
Yes.
Because once you do it, you're already like spending like $20 or whatever on a little teddy bear, maybe more now with inflation.
It's
but
like $40.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It's not cheap.
But then you'll they'll try to upsell you to get the little voice recorder in there, and you can record your own
Express,
voice.
that's a good one.
Saying like, you know, have a good day,
QS.
Luke. I could say, I have a good day, Luke, and put it in a Build-A-Bear. So every time he presses it, he gets my voice. But it's worth that extra $5 or $10 you spend at the end.
Yeah,
That's my pro tip.
Yeah, don't overstuff it.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Yep. But all right. Why did I get long Newegg? We saw GME happen. You can pull up that one.
What
GME sucks today.
what company is that? Oh, GameStop. Kidding.
Wait, okay, you're kidding. Okay. I thought you were serious. I was like, what the? Who am I sitting next to? Okay.
I get Spencer.
AMC.
AMC.
Spencer Israel is the most gullible person I've ever met in my life.
Remember when?
All right, and then you had KOSS.
Wait, remember when Spencer said that? Peter, what was it? Peter Schiff. He said, "Oh, Peter Schiff likes Bitcoin now," but it was a April Fool's Day thing.
Oh yeah. Okay. So GME ran, AMC ran, costs ran. So then I said, which ones haven't gone yet? Newegg was one of them. That didn't have that crazy leg up. It never got it. So I'm probably gonna close that one on as a loser. Close it out as a loser. Common stock.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, Newegg to me, like the industry is good. I think you want to be long gaming. I don't think gaming's going anywhere. I don't think PC gaming's going anywhere. But there are other names that are more interesting in the space to me, like Nvidia, like the people that are actually providing the parts that you would buy on Newegg. People go on Newegg to buy an Nvidia processor. People go on Newegg to buy a Philips monitor or whatever it is. So to me, I would want to see like what are the most popular items on Newegg are, and then go and buy those companies producing them.
That's a decent play. And that's part of the reason why I picked Newegg. It is a very real business. It does $550 million a quarter of revenue. It doesn't really have cash flow. EBITDA is $11 million a year. But it is a very real business, right? Trading at 4 times price to sales. That's why I picked that one. So, you know, I at the very least, I wouldn't lose my ass.
Yeah, and I also think like in Newegg's, what they got going for them. I mean, they took like there were other players in the space, right? You could have gone to BestBuy.com or other places to buy some of these computer parts, but Newegg said we want to be the leader in e-commerce for gamers. And I just think it's important to remember, like, some of these companies have great numbers, strong, like, not every company has to reinvent the wheel or be doing something like crazy innovative. Maybe they just master the gaming e-commerce space. And I like that.
Yep. All right,
Luke.
What else? Spencer Israel is still eating.
All right, Spencer's still eating, so we'll...
Let me see if I have any other stuff.
Andy O saying Nvidia to the moon. I mean, yeah. Up another 8% today. We had the investor day a couple days ago. Nothing crazy, I didn't think, out of the investor day, but it looks like today the market's decided, Mr. Market decided he liked it. And the stock's absolutely ripping. Let's look at this on a 5-minute chart. Ooh. A little double top action up here, Luke. This could be setting up for a little intraday.
You know what's been a great trade for me that we haven't talked about?
Which one is that?
Schwab. We haven't talked about that in a long time, that one.
All financials. Let's look at XLF right now. I'm pretty sure
exactly.
all financials are doing well today.
You got it.
I mean, some of these financial companies, here's what I like looking at Bank of America. Obviously, these stocks get a tailwind with interest rates rising, right? But you got to imagine that a lot of that's priced in. What is Bank of America's, like, what has changed in their business? Why its stock is so much higher than it was before COVID?
It's a good question.
Just like more money out there, like more money in the system.
Bank of America is one of my best trades of 2021. Actually,
it got all the way up to
calls that made a ton of money.
Oh, you had. What about Ford? You had Ford. Ford was your 2021 stock of the year.
Well, Ford was a great one too. And at the same time that I went into Ford long with Leap's 12-month calls, I did the same thing on Bank of America. It was a great trade. Great trade. Basically, the operating thesis was the stock is still so depressed from COVID, and interest rates are going to go up. So here's my that was my trade on Bank.
Oh, Luke, you know what's been on my watch list recently that I haven't gotten into yet, but I think is setting up for a trade? Starbucks. Look at this. All right, hear me out. Starbucks is now where it was right before COVID hit. Look, going back to February 2020, Starbucks was a $90 stock. It's an $86 stock right now. This Starbucks is an absolute monster. They just print.
Yeah, that looks sort of juicy.
They just print money. And looking at the chart here, you can see just a few months ago we were up near.
Okay.
Yeah, can I do what?
Show me guidance.
Where is that in the financials tab?
Go to calendar guidance. It's so small.
Calendar.
Spencer, what does it say? He makes it so small.
EPS.
I want sales. You have upcoming year sales. Or what do you have? You don't. You have upcoming quarter revenue. What does that say? 8 billion?
Yeah, they don't have the guidance for Q2 yet. Or maybe they didn't give guidance.
Keep going to the right. Let me just scroll to the right. Make sure they didn't give any guidance. Bummer. Okay.
I mean, either way, $8 billion of revenue in a car. I mean, and look at how that compares. Oh my God, what just happened?
Yeah, it's a decent stock. But I don't know. I'm looking at multiples right now on the valuation side of things, and it's pretty much in line with S&P 500.
But look at so Luke right here, 2020, this quarter right here, 2020 in April, their revenue was $6 billion.
Yep.
That's when the stock before COVID was trading at $90 a share. It's still trading at $90 a share, but instead of the revenue being $6 billion, it's going to be $8 billion. So that's a what? 25% increase in revenue where the stock price hasn't changed at all. No,
33% increase.
33%. Oh yeah, one third. I was doing from 8. So 33% increase of revenue. I assume their operating costs have also gone up, and they're paying more for
Christian
inflation.
Gallagher's dropping it in the chat. The union thing too. Labor shortages, union, inflation.
Here's what I don't understand.
I think it's interesting. I'm not like a hater.
No, I'm not even. I don't
it's
care.
No Facebook to me.
I don't care.
You know how much I love my Facebook.
All tell me you hate the stock right now. I'm not in the stock. I don't have any skin in the game. I'm saying it's on my watch list. If anything, I'd want to see it go down another $10, and then it'd be a for sure buy for me. But I don't think this idea, and I get like in the short term that the unionization can be bad for the company's bottom line, and the stock prices can reflect that. But I think historically, if you look at returns of companies that are unionized, that actually perform really well in the markets. Whether you look at like, some of the automakers in the past when they, or companies like, I think UPS has unions, but FedEx doesn't. Either way, I don't know if long term that's really a bear case for the stock.
I don't think it really matters. Yeah, I think it's sort of interesting, for sure. And I have one final appeal. Can I make it?
Yep.
All right. What you are looking at right now on your screen, on Aaron Bree's computer, he's sharing his screen right now, is our Benzinga Pro, okay? BenzingaPro.com. BenzingaPro.com. It is free to start a 2-week trial. You do not need a credit card to start the 2-week trial. All you need to do is you need to go and sign up. Highly encourage, implore, request that everybody check it out. There's no reason not to. Again, it's a no credit card trial. And this is like our lifeblood as investors. I mean, I'm biased, right? Because I've been using it every single day as I work here. But this is like my lifeblood as an investor. There is never a situation where I can't figure out very, very quickly what's happening with the stock, why it's moving, what caused it to move historically, what catalysts are on the radar. That is just something that doesn't happen in my world. And I hear from people all the time on Twitter, in person, or like, oh, I'm digging around trying to find out what this thing's moving. I don't have that problem. I haven't had that problem for a very, very long time. So check it out, guys. Pro.benzinga.com or benzingapro.com, both work. And I will see you in the chat room there.
There we go. Mr. Jacobi, always a pleasure to get you on, guys. Smash the like for Luke. Go ahead. Smash that like. Turn that little gray thumbs up into a blue thumbs up. It's completely free. Helps us. Helps me. Spencer's coming back on. Yeah, a new indicator.
We have a new indicator, or not a new indicator, an old indicator that went away and now is back.
What's that?
The Wingstop indicator. All right, I have some breaking news. Can you get the pro off the screen?
I don't know how.
Breaking news. Can we do the breaking news thing?
Sure.
Yeah, breaking news. I have it. Oh, for the first time since last summer. Yeah. This chair's hard. For the first time since last summer, we have Wingstop in the Benzinga office.
That's not true.
It is true.
No.
It is true.
Aaron Thomas, back me up here.
It is true.
The first time since last summer that we've had Wingstop in the office. No.
Yeah.
Look at it.
When is the last time?
we had Wingstop no more than like a month ago.
We did not.
Dude.
I wasn't here for that.
We could go on Jason's like Grubhub account or wherever he's ordering from, DoorDash, and see on there when the last time that we got it is.
All I'm saying is the Wingstop indicator is back on, whatever that meant before. It means it again. How's Wingstop doing? Oh no. The stock was doing so well. What happened? You know what happened is Jason stopped buying through DoorDash is what happened. That's exactly. You can actually see the correlation. Let me show you this. So we were ordering like peak Benzinga Wingstop was like last summer, right? And like every single week there'd be a Wingstop in this office, and that's like right around here. Let's go to a weekly.
Dude, I'm so frustrated right now.
With who? Yourself?
No.
With who?
With
me?
No. So
anyway, Wingstop.
Time zones. All right.
Time zones?
Yeah, you finish on Wingstop, then I'll go.
Oh, dude, did you book a guest doing the wrong time zone again?
No, well, I was talking to Zaheer about, okay, Voodoo in the chat. You guys had Wingstop about 1 month ago. I pushed Jason to buy you guys lunch that month.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that one time. You're okay. Fine. All right. You know what? I stand corrected. But the point still stands. So that's one Wingstop in the last like 7 or 8 months now. Then now today's 2 is what I'm saying. So coincidence Wingstop is forming a double bottom on the weekly? I don't know. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say. What was your thing about time zones?
So I was real excited to get Zaheer on the show. He might still come on, but we talked. It's one of those like weird things in my head. I just like have in my head that I remember that London is 5. It's my soda.
Yeah, it says okay. Sorry.
It says what?
Recycle me.
Well, yeah.
That's new.
I just know that London is like 5 hours ahead of Detroit.
Yeah.
So I was giving him the time, and I was like, want to come on 12:45, 5:45 p.m. your time. And
I thought it was
like,
4 hours. No, it's 5.
It's 5. Okay, so this is why I'm so frustrated.
Oh, it's because it's daylight savings.
It's no. Listen, it's Michael Feehan, Tiny Pie told me this. So it's 4 hours ahead this week, but 5 hours ahead next week.
What? Why?
Exactly. I don't know.
Wait, is that a daylight savings thing?
I don't know. It seems like it's some weird. Imagine how we would think Europeans were crazy if like we didn't change our clocks, but they did.
Changing.
Like I want to even now be like, why would you guys change your clocks? It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Even though we just did it like 2 weeks ago.
It is dumb. We all agree it's dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's part of our culture now.
No.
That's gonna be one of those things that I'm gonna hang on to.
The only
proof, like these kids these days are trying to not.
The only proof you need is that within 1 day of daylight savings last week, 2 weeks ago, there was the bipartisan bill that passed the Senate.
Yeah, because they were all tired and like this freaking sucks.
Bipartisan in 1 day, no debate. 1 day.
I don't know if we'll see. Well, if we do see that pass and that happens, it'll be one of those things that like we'll probably tell our kids one day, like, oh, when I was a kid, we used to change our clocks, and they'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yes. Good question, HL. We're going back to the stocks in a second. I have some stocks.
I think Zaheer will be joining us though. So
Okay.
Zaheer Anwari, he's a Benzinga contributor. He's a trader, investor. He's into stocks, forex, equities, you name it, out in Europe. So we're getting
he joins
more world. We're getting a wider world view.
Yes.
Did you ever study abroad, Spencer?
No.
I can tell.
I was too busy doing internships.
I can tell. Very
What
uncultured.
does that mean?
Very uncultured.
I want to talk about Uber real fast.
Oh.
So this is interesting. All right. So this came completely out of nowhere. Did you see the news this morning?
Yeah, they had a deal with New York taxi drivers.
Yeah. So Uber and New York taxi drivers are like mortal enemies, right? It's like Michigan and Ohio State. It's like Russia and everybody else, right? Mortal enemies. And today Uber announces that there's a new program that they're testing where you'll be able to order a New York City yellow cab through the Uber app, which is pretty wild. Now, for whatever reason, the Benzinga like media email, like we're on a lot of press lists, right? At Benzinga, we're on the press list for the New York Taxi Workers Alliance, basically the union, right? And they sent over a statement as they are wont to do on news like this, and they are not happy, Aaron. They are not happy.
I'm sure the taxi drivers had a say in this.
That's what I assumed.
They had to have.
I assumed the taxi drivers would have had a say in this deal.
Yeah, someone from the taxi organization had to say, okay, this benefits us as well to have us listed on the app. To me, though, I mean, it's obvious that Uber, the only reason Uber did this was because they're struggling with a driver shortage in New York, and it's causing prices to go way up. So people are like pissed off at Uber, and they're like, oh, how can we alleviate these high prices? Well, let's bring in some taxi drivers into our app. But
Can I read the statement and then we'll bring on to here?
yeah.
Okay, this is from the New York Taxi Workers Alliance. The companies that tore up this industry need this, meaning today's deal, more than the drivers do.
I agree.
Drivers can hold out on 1 to 2 more fares, but cannot settle for a business model that underpays drivers, fires them at will, and guts full-time work. So it's time to negotiate. After its business model has shown the failures to protect drivers from ridership downturns and rising gas prices, Uber is returning to its roots, yellow cabs. First, they should settle once and for all the question of maintaining the vehicle cab. Second, the fare structure that is not enough for Uber drivers is also not going to be enough for yellow cab drivers who have higher expenses, such as the medallion payment and higher car costs, as a new one must be hacked up every 6 years. And then they go into some more specifics. I'm going to skip to the end here. If Uber and Curb think they can slide in with the payment structure that's broken for Uber drivers and piece it together on the backs of yellow cab drivers, they're in for a sobering surprise. Neither company will grow ridership without working out terms that work for drivers. We know who's in the driver's seat, and spoiler alert, it's not a venture capitalist. So the taxi drivers union seems to be pretty upset here. The market, Wall Street, which we know is the arbiter of what is right and what is true, seems undecided because the stock ripped in the pre-market. It dipped until about 10 a.m. or 10:30 and then popped again. So
I think, sure, yeah, if you want to use this as like a short-term bullish catalyst that Uber is going to alleviate the high prices by bringing in some more drivers, sure. But I don't think long-term this changes anything for Uber as a company. I do not like...
It's still a ridiculous business model.
I don't like this stock. I don't like the business model. I do think Uber... I don't think... They're like anything else, right? I believe nothing is really black and white. There are benefits and drawbacks. There are benefits to being kind of an independent contractor worker for Uber, wanting to work your own hours. But there are a lot of downsides too. I mean, they went to court to go ahead and say that their drivers aren't even technically employees.
And they didn't win, right?
The drivers didn't win. Uber won.
No, Uber did not. I thought Uber lost that.
No.
The drivers are employed. No?
I don't know. There were a few different lawsuits. I thought the big one was that Uber won and that
maybe
they could still classify them as independent. Either way,
do y'all know what the medallion stock? There's a medallion stock, a taxi medallion. There's a bank. There's a stock, Medallion Financial, right? MFIN. They are the parent company of the medallion of basically a company that lends out taxi medallions, right? And does that for that's part of that's not the whole business, but that's part of the business. So MFIN is your taxi medallion stock.
Yeah, I don't like Uber's business model in any of those companies, whether it's DoorDash,
Yeah.
etc. Jim Chanos is also short a lot of those companies, or at least
Right.
he was.
Yeah. Uber, like ride sharing is weird. Meal delivery is extra weird and makes even less sense. Let's bring on our guest. Who do we got?
We've got Zaheer Anwari again.
Yes.
Zaheer is over in the UK somewhere.
He's across the pond.
He's across the pond. Runs Sublime Trading. Also contributes for us at Benzinga. So Zaheer has great knowledge on, again, just equity markets, for Forex, you name it. So chat, come prepared for questions with Zaheer, and let's go ahead and give Zaheer our special intro and introduce him to the show. Zaheer, happy Thursday.
Hi.
Great to have you on Benzinga Live for the first time ever.
First question for you.
Hi, Aaron. Thanks for having me.
First question's here.
Yes.
Is that a real background?
It's a virtual background that's masking the train wreck of a room I have behind me at the moment.
But
So
is the sweater real?
the sweater is 100% real. Yeah.
I like the sweater. All right, Zaheer, first of all, so what's going on with this time zone thing? So I understand that right now you're 4 hours ahead of us here in Eastern Wall Street, New York time. But
Right.
next week you will be 5 hours ahead of us?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
You guys are changing your clocks?
we are indeed. I think it's this weekend. Yes.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Wait.
Well, I mean, I think we just accept it as normal, right? No one questions these things, you know. So it is what it is. I don't know what to say about it.
All right. Well, now I'll keep that in mind. So I was under the impression when we were scheduling that you were 5 hours ahead, but you're really
Yeah,
4.
that's
But
the
now
only-
next week it'll be 5
Absolutely,
again.
yeah.
So
It's the only challenge getting these times correct because
Oh man,
Yeah.
this is like the third time you've screwed up a time zone with someone. At least.
I'm not. There shouldn't be time zones. We should all be on one clock, one time. Things would be easier.
I think
Zaheer.
we're longer, so that's the one advantage. So you know we don't have. We got to make the most of the sun when it's here in the UK.
Yeah, you guys don't get a lot of sun over there. We
No,
don't necessarily get a lot of sun over here in Detroit, but
No, we don't.
But it is what it is. Zaheer, did I do a good job introducing? So is there anything you would like to add? Any accolades? Things you would like to add?
No, I think that's great. I mean, you know, I've been contributing to your guys to Benzinga for I think about 2 months now, which has been great. We focus on stocks, commodities, currencies. We help professionals build portfolios around their lifestyle. So yeah, that's what we focus on here.
Beautiful. So let's talk about kind of anything you're watching right now, or we can look at the SPY at SPX or anything and just see kind of what you've been looking at. If you're able to on your end, if you would like to share a screen, if you've got charts or anything you would like to share that would aid the discussion. But I'm just curious about your overall thoughts on the market right now, and then maybe we can get into some specific names.
Yeah, absolutely. I can share my screen. I think that would help.
Yep, we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
we're
bring it
looking
up.
at the S&P 500.
Okay.
I'm going to go full screen for a sec. You're still going to have audio just because there's a lot going on here. So I'm going to go full screen to make it a little bigger. There we go.
Okay, brilliant. So, yeah, we've obviously had an interesting start to 2022 with the corrections that we saw this year. There was a 15% decline, and I think often people try to attribute that to some kind of event that's happening in the world. Of course, we've had this sad situation in Ukraine at the start of the year, and people try and find meaning ultimately to price movement. What I've found over the years is that the simplest way to approach the markets is to understand that at 2 times of the year, typically there can be corrections in the market. So the start of the year, January, February, there can be corrections in the market, and then later on in the year, September, October, there can be corrections in the market. So if you align yourself with the natural movement of the stock market, it ends up being a lot simpler and a lot easier to put a portfolio together. So this is a typical screen setup of mine. I have the monthly in the top left, the weekly in the top right, and I have the daily time frame across the bottom. The monthly is really useful because it gives me the bigger picture. If I just open that up, excuse me, where are we? If I just open that up, one of the indicators that I like to look for in terms of a bullish trend continuation is that if you look at this high point here, this green line, that's the high of the previous calendar year, and the red line is the low of the previous calendar year. At the moment, you can see that price is moving within the high and the low, and so that's really where there's a lot of indecision at the moment in the markets. If it breaks through the high of last year, then we're likely to see a continuation of the S&P 500.
So Zaheer, something I'm always curious of for people that look at charts like you do, is this,
Yeah.
are you 100% doing what you're doing based off technicals, or do you, are you kind of all technicals, or you just use them in addition to looking at fundamentals?
Yeah, great question. I find focusing on technicals 100% of the time is simpler. It's far less work. I'm very much from the school of Richard Dennis and the Turtle Traders, looking for long-term trends in the market, focusing on the charts, focusing on technicals. One of the main reasons for that is that institutions tend to get news earlier. They pay for that, obviously, through the terminals that they subscribe to. They pay a lot of money to get news early. So by the time we, the small private traders outside of the institutional world, actually get access to that information, it's often been traded on and factored into the markets. So I find it far easier to just look at the technicals rather than get bogged down in the fundamentals as well.
Yeah, I just think it's so fascinating because it's one of those things that it's obviously it's like schools of thoughts, nothing's for certain or that objective in the field, and you have people like like you mentioned, Richard Dennis, whoever, that are 100% technical traders, and you have guys like Warren Buffett who say, I don't even look at charts, I don't think they matter.
Yeah, exactly. It's about finding a process that ultimately works for you. I think often what people forget is that we have lifestyles. We're busy, we've got jobs, married, kids, friends, families. We've got things to get on with. And so then trying to sort of keep on top of the fundamentals and what's going out on what's happening in the big bad world, it can be quite tricky to find the time to do that. When you're looking at the technicals, it just takes a few minutes each day to look at the charts, do your analysis, especially at the weekend. I like to prepare at the weekend when the markets are closed, spend about an hour doing my scanning, finding the assets that meet my criteria. And then because I've done that weekend preparation, Monday to Friday is quite straightforward because I'm looking at the assets that I've found at the weekend, and then I've just got to manage my portfolio. So over the last 10 years, it's done me really, really well, just having a system that works around my lifestyle.
What do those scans look like for you? Everyone's got their own scans.
So typically, are you asking about the criteria of the scan?
Yeah.
Yeah, great question. So
thank you.
I like to look for stocks that are printing all-time highs. I find that stocks that are printing all-time highs are really, really good stocks that are likely
AbbVie.
to keep on printing. So McKesson, MCK, is a good example of a stock that I'm in, and you can see that it's printing new all-time highs. This is on the monthly time frame.
Oh,
so
wow.
One of the scans that I look for is stocks printing new all-time highs and volume over 1 million. Just those two scans alone, those two things alone will give you some wonderful stocks to consider. And what's beautiful about that is that often, when people are looking to invest in stocks, there's often an attachment to the brand name. I want to invest in Nike or Apple or Microsoft or Uber. I heard you guys talking about it earlier. There's an attachment to the brand name. Whereas I'm not interested in the brand name. I'm interested in finding stocks that are going to make me money. So there's 3 points. One, does it have a good history of performance? So if you look at McKesson, it's got an excellent history of performance. It's trended really, really well from 2008 to this high here in 2015. So it can trended for 7 years. And so the point of technical analysis is that if it's happened in the past, then it's very likely to happen in the future. Of course, there's no guarantees, but that's investing. We're playing on probabilities. And if it fails, that's where risk management and exit management comes in. But the point is, if it's got a good history of performance, then it's likely to perform well in the future. And you can see that's what's materializing with McKesson. And then on top of that, if it's printing new all-time highs and it's got good volume, i.e. over 1 million, then you've got a stock that has a very high chance of, returning a decent profit over the next 12, 24 months, which is typically my holding period.
Do you have any like price or market cap filters? You just talked about not necessarily being not only going for the brand names, but do you what other filters do you have, or is that it?
Typically, that's it. I mean, in terms of
Okay.
price, the minimum that I would look for is stocks that are over $20. But
Okay.
usually, stocks over $100 tend to
Okay.
have a bit of history, and then you've still got that good upside potential. Yeah, that's it. Really, I keep it really, really simple. I mean, another example of a stock in my portfolio that's printing new all-time highs is Kroger, KR,
Yep.
and you can see again performing really, really well in terms of its history. One other point to add to that is that I like stocks that are breaking out from a long-term area of consolidation, because there's an expression in trading, which is the longer the consolidation, the bigger the breakout. So if I can find stocks that are breaking out from at least a minimum of 4, 5, 6 months of consolidation, then that will form a base for a trend to develop. So again, if we go back to McKesson, you can see that, it was consolidating for this long period of time here, and it's now broken out and is trending. Another example is AmerisourceBergen Corporation, ABC.
Yeah, all these guys are ripping out, and the third one is Cardinal Health is the laggard of the bunch. But
wait, so here, what percentage? I mean, how are you trading mostly U.S. equities, or do you trade like European stocks as well?
Well, predominantly U.S. stocks, just because of the sheer range of stocks that can perform really, really well. But then when the US market is trending, then the UK market will perform really well as well. So just to give you an example of a UK stock that was in my portfolio, it isn't now. It was up until the start of this year. It's Ashtead, and I got in at around £2.50 and then exited around £6. So again, you can see just trended really, really well while the US market was trending as well.
Is that common? I mean, you're in trading, you run SublimeTrading.io, and is it common for a lot of traders in the UK or in Europe to mostly stick to US equities?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say it's a good mixture, really, because we have broker accounts here. Obviously we've been talking behind the scenes, and you've got brokers like Eurotrader and IG, for example. I think IG are in the US as well, and they just offer an excellent array of assets. And as an investor, I don't care which markets I'm investing in, as long as the probabilities are in my favor to make profit. But over the years, what I found is that I only really need to focus on the US market and the UK market, and then of course commodities and currencies, and I've got ample opportunities every year to take positions.
Got it. Well, Zaheer, I'm glad we got to get you on the show. We have to get you on more. Maybe Spencer will bring you on pre-market prep sometime, since I know that's a little earlier in the day for you.
Brilliant.
And yeah, or do you have any more names on the top of your list? We can rapid fire them through them real quick.
Let's see what else I have got. So I've said McKesson, I've got ABC, I've got Kroger. Let me just have a quick look at my list. I mean, I've got my list down here. So,
and while you're doing that, Spencer, are you getting any? Oh, okay. Looks like we got a headline. Apple Wallet.
Apple. This is ridiculous.
Oh, that's not new. The Apple IDs in Arizona.
No. That's not it. That's not the headline.
What's the headline?
The headline is that Apple is considering. I think this is from Bloomberg, and Apple is considering a subscription business model for their hardware, so that people. This makes no sense to me. I hate this. So you can basically pay a monthly fee for your phone.
I already did that with my laptop like a year ago.
And then
using the Apple card, I would pay $100 a month for 12 months for my this laptop right here, instead of paying $1,200 up front.
Oh, you did that already?
Yeah, but it was through the Apple card. I mean, I don't know. I saw we got a huge tick up in Apple, like literally like a 1.5% move in like a second, and now we're selling off.
There's a difference between the computer and the iPhone, because the iPhone is half their business.
I know, but that's how most like cell phone plans are already. When you go to AT&T, you don't pay for the iPhone up front; you pay for it monthly.
No. I think that's not what this is referring to. This is not referring to like monthly installments.
Okay.
To pay off your phone.
Okay.
You're referring to monthly installments to pay.
Oh, you're saying just to use my iPhone, I'll have to pay like $5 a month?
that? I think that's what this is saying.
That'd be crazy. They'd make so much money. Like people would not stop using iPhones. Just
I know
they
you
started
you can't stop using your phone. This
I'm
is
not
ridiculous.
gonna. Yeah.
This is insanity. This is madness. I want to go back to a world where we own our stuff. No more subscriptions. I don't want subscriptions.
You guys don't have sort of SIM-only contracts out there where you can buy the phone and then
No, I don't think we do. We have that.
Zaheer, we have a lot of like business practices that are a little
this makes no sense.
weird and convoluted, but
Oh, thanks for coming on to here, man. This is fun. We'll have you back on again soon.
Yeah, you're welcome. One stock, guys. Berkshire Hathaway, the B stock. Yeah.
All-time highs.
Burke. Hey, by the way, Zaheer, you were writing about Burke B like what 2 months ago?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was one of your first articles for us for Benzinga was about Burke B. If you would have just bought it when Zaheer was talking about it, you'd be up like 20%.
Yeah.
Up and to the right. Up and to the right. Thanks a lot to hear.
Thanks for having me. Cheers, guys. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
I don't even. All right. We got to bring Chris Katje on because we got to talk. We got to pivot here. We got to talk stock market madness and basketball and all that stuff. But this is silly. Maybe Chris has opinions on this
On the Apple news?
This is ridiculous. I want to own things. I don't like paying subscriptions.
So, all right, wait.
This is madness.
It's
bad enough that
was it just a headline from Bloomberg, or do they have like a whole article?
this is like the Spotify, but for everything. Let's bring Chris on here. This is ridiculous.
BZ Wire, Apple hardwares.
What's up, man?
What's going on? I missed the Apple headline. What is it?
Oh wait,
Okay.
it's not even saying that they're like considering it. It says Apple's hardware subscriptions expected by end of 2022 or in 2023.
So what does this mean? It means you are going to have the option if you want to not actually pay for
Wait,
your
hold on. I
iPhone.
see an update from Bloomberg. It says update: Apple users would buy iPhone, iPad the same way they pay for iCloud.
Yeah, because iCloud is a subscription. You
Yeah,
gotta
but then
pay.
that is talking about buy that.
monthly for iCloud.
Yo, I don't want to pay monthly for my phone if I already own the phone.
They got to get the revenue any way they can. Remember, ever since the chargers, they got the backlash on that, right? It used to be every year you had to buy a whole new Apple charger, all new equipment, and then they got shut down on that, and now they have to use the same chargers for each new phone. So where can the revenue come from? So subscription services.
I don't know. I think there are companies out there that struggle with finding ways to bring in new revenue. I don't think Apple is one of those ways. This has to be like a.
Hey, Patrick's right. It's renting what you already bought. You're renting what you
No,
bought.
I don't know. We don't know. We don't know the exact details of this yet. It could be as simple as instead of paying in
can't do
installments through your cell phone provider, through AT&T or through Verizon, you just pay monthly installments directly through Apple for your phone. And you're
No,
not.
that's for the phone service. This is for the phone itself.
No. Okay. Oh my God. All right.
There's 2 monthly fees now.
I understand.
what I'm
I'm saying
saying.
on top of the monthly service for the cellular, for the service, for the data. When I bought my iPhone through AT&T, I did not pay for the iPhone up front. I also pay for the iPhone monthly. I'm saying Apple, I don't think, has done this directly through Apple before. Maybe that's what this is, and you're not.
Okay.
I highly doubt it's that you're gonna have to pay to rent something that you already own.
Okay. No, I was kidding about that.
Is it a way for Apple to get the revenue that the phone companies are currently getting? Because so many of these phone companies do the plans where you essentially rent to own. You pay the monthly fees, and then at the end of the 2-year, 3-year contract, the phone is yours. So maybe Apple, is cutting out the middleman here, and they're going to get that monthly revenue.
Probably. Yeah. So maybe this will come with automatic updates, right? Automatic upgrades. I mean, where new phone comes out, you get the upgrade as long as you're keeping whatever. But I just want to own things. Is that so wrong? I want to own music. I don't want to pay Spotify every month for my music, and I don't actually. I want to own my phone. I want to own my software. Is that so wrong?
I'm kind of disappointed because I'm a big Apple shareholder, and I thought I saw this news, or I saw the candle first, and I thought like we were actually gonna get some exciting news from Apple, but instead it's this, which to me is not.
All right, whatever. All right, let's go back to the conversation we're having at the top of the show, which was basketball, because I was in a good mood before this Apple thing ruined my good mood, but I was in a good mood today because we got basketball tonight. Chris and Aaron and myself, we have done the research, we have crunched the numbers, and we all have picks for this weekend's games. Who wants to start?
Right now I'm on my phone. I'm depositing money
Oh no.
into my DraftKings account.
You're betting live.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead. So Chris, I don't know if you were tuning in last week when we were talking about our picks, but I gave a parlay live out on the stream, and I had at least one person follow it because we were talking on Twitter about it. But essentially, the parlay. Well, here, let me pull it up so I don't butcher it, because I know it was a 4-pick parlay. I know which leg lost. And I know 3 out of the 4 legs hit. Let me pull it up.
All right. Well, while he's doing that, Chris, why don't you start? We got 4 games tonight, 4 games tomorrow. You want to run through your picks?
Yeah, I can run through the games, the picks, whatever you want. So
Yeah.
Tonight we got Arkansas versus Gonzaga. Gonzaga's favored by 9.5 points. I do like Gonzaga. 9.5 points is a lot to cover in the Sweet 16, but I think they pull it out. Arkansas is a heavy guard team, and Gonzaga is tall, and they beat teams inside with Drew Timme and Chet Holmgren. Timme, 57 points, 27 rebounds in the last 2 games. Gonzaga's only lost 3 games this season, and that was to Duke, Alabama, and St. Mary's, 3 tournament teams. Arkansas also isn't a great 3-point shooting team, which means if this game gets away from them, it could go south real fast. Arkansas, struggled against the 13 seed and the 12 seeds. Also the conditioning. So something I noticed is that in both Arkansas's games, they had 2 guys play all 40 minutes. And then in the second game, they had 3 players play 40 minutes. So 2 of those guys have played all 80 minutes in the tournament so far.
Wow. I did not notice that.
There was a gap here, right, to rest, but still, at what point does that catch up to them? So for me, I think Gonzaga covers. I think they win pretty handedly. Do you want me to keep going, or you want to go game at a time here?
Yeah, I agree with you. I actually don't think 9.5 is a lot at all, frankly. Arkansas struggled against Vermont. They won by 4. They struggled against New Mexico State. They won by 5. Gonzaga is a whole different class. I think Gonzaga easily covers. Easily.
Yeah.
I'm going other way here. I'm taking Arkansas plus 9.5.
Really?
You think just because of the points, or you think Arkansas has a shot to win?
I think Arkansas. I think what Arkansas's coach, Eric
Musselman. He's Musselman, man.
Musselman. what he's been doing is very impressive. It's the last SEC team remaining in the tournament. The rest have had disappointing. Oh no, sorry, Auburn is still around.
No, they're not.
Oh no, they're not.
Oh, they're gone.
They gone.
Who beat Auburn?
Miami.
Oh, that's right. That's right. All right, yeah. So Arkansas,
which we're gonna get to.
Arkansas only SEC team. I think they're gonna try to stay alive, and I think it's too many points. I think to your point, Chris, I hear you. I disagree about the importance of minutes played. I think at this point in the tournament, the season, these guys have been playing basketball every other day for 6 months. They're in good enough shape where they can. They're young guys. They're in good enough shape where they can play 40 minutes. They just had a 4-day rest. I think actually in the March tournament, on average, teams have less bench minutes because you can just play your 5 starters essentially for the whole game, and, unless they get in foul trouble, because they are in better shape by this time of year. And so yeah, I'm going Arkansas here. I'm taking the points. I'm not taking Arkansas ML. I do think Gonzaga will win the game, but I think 9.5 is too many points.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Next up is Michigan and Nova.
Yeah, so we got Villanova and Michigan. Villanova favored by 5 points. This is a tough one for me because I am a Michigan fan, and anytime you are a fan and you mix betting in, sometimes it can get a little carried away. But I do think Michigan has a shot to win this game, and I think 5 points is within reach. So I like Michigan plus 5. I think Hunter Dickinson is going to provide matchup problems for Villanova. Villanova's biggest starter is 6'8", and they are not very tall beyond that. Dickinson has over 10 points in all but 3 games this year, and he has 21 points, 27 points in the last 2 games. And in both of Villanova's wins, they were really hot from 3-point, and that's a theme in the tournament. But at some point, if you're not hot, it can really cost you a game. So I see Michigan winning. I also like the player prop Hunter Dickinson over 18.5 points as well, which he has hit in 4 of the last 5 games.
I didn't know about that prop. That prop seems like a sure thing. because they've been playing through him, especially with the point guard out, and I don't even know if what Devontae. I don't even know if
Jones
if
played
he,
last game, but he struggled. So
yeah, he played for like 4 minutes, right?
Yep,
Something like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's a great one. The prop 18 points for Hunter Dickinson. I'm with you on that. What say you, Michigan
maybe.
Nova?
I'm rolling with Michigan here with the underdogs, keeping it rolling. I'm not as convinced on the Hunter Dickinson prop, and here's why. I've just seen too many times this tournament over the past couple of weeks where a team has a guy like Dickinson. You can look at Gonzaga's Chet Holmgren or whoever that team's guy is. What is that other team and other coach doing? All they're doing for the last 3-4 days is preparing for how do we stop Hunter Dickinson? How do we stop Hunter Dickinson? So if anything, I like to sometimes look at some of the number 2, 3 scorers on Michigan and say Dickinson's going to get so much attention here that I'm going to take some of these guys. I did that with Gonzaga's last game, and that worked out really well because Chet Holmgren's over-under for points was like the same thing, 18.5, and he didn't even break 10. I think he finished with like 7 or 8 points, and he still had
8 or 9. Yep.
And he still had a good game, by the way. He had about 10 rebounds, 4 blocks. Like, he was still effective. He just wasn't as effective on the offensive end because the opposing team and opposing coaches have been game planning for him.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And I think to that point, if they decide to double team Dickinson, I feel like I would actually be more bullish on Michigan to cover or win because he's going to kick it out to those 3-point shooters. And if Michigan can get hot, I think they could win this game.
Well, and back into to Dickinson's chance of hitting it. I mean, there are guys that game plan all you want. They're still going to get their buckets. They're still going to score their 20 points. So maybe Dickinson has a game like that. But yeah,
I'm going with the favorite against both of you. Taking Nova. Michigan
Nova in the 5. Michigan's done, huh?
Yep. 5 points is not a lot.
No, it's not.
Yeah. That's not a big hurdle to cover. So I'm going with the favorite here. Let's move on. This is a good one. It seems like there's a consensus here. I'd be curious to get your guys' thoughts. I know where I stand. Chris, where do you stand on this one?
This one's a tough one. I see Duke winning. I think Duke is deep. They showed that in their 2 tournament games. Their first game, all their starters had double-digit points. In game 2 versus MSU, 4 of their 5 starters had double-digit points. They struggled against MSU, but MSU also shot 11 of 22 for 3. That's 50%. It's hard for teams to hit 50% 3 points. Duke beat Kentucky and Gonzaga earlier in the season, and most of their losses were under 5 points during the season in the games they did lose. Texas Tech is very good defensively. I think that's going to be the key battle is if they can keep Duke in check, early on in the game. But I've liked Duke all season, and I think that they should actually be the favorite in this matchup.
I'm sensing the trend here is everyone's going on the Tech bandwagon. Have you gotten that based on just what I've read? Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of anti-Duke people out there, so I feel like some people it's.
That's not what I mean. I mean, like the Texas Tech is like the trendy trendy take here. I'm going with the crowd. I'm going with Texas Tech. They're a big team. They can spread the floor, force Mark Williams out of the paint. Going with Tech.
I don't know. This is honestly a game that I might not even bet on at all because I don't really have a good feeling for it. But I think I gotta go Duke here. I really like number 5 on Duke, Paolo Banchero. He's good. I don't know. I think I butchered his name, but I think the Pistons might get him. Paolo Banchero, AT saying.
Banchero, yep. He's
a beast. I think Duke is strong. I don't think they're obviously the best Duke team in the past 5-10 years. I don't think this is it for Coach K. I think we're going to see one more round at least. So I'm going Duke here, but I don't feel good about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Last one of the night here. The tip off for the Zona Houston game is 10 p.m. Eastern time. Arizona favored by 1.5. Chris, your thoughts?
I'm sticking with the favorite here. Arizona was my pick to win the championship on my bracket. They've been my pick to win the championship pretty much all season. They did struggle in the last game. They ended up in overtime. Houston has a very, very good defense. I think that's going to be another key. Arizona, though, 32-3 on the season. They won 17 of their last 18 games. that Houston win versus Illinois, the real telling part for me was that Illinois' leading scorer, Coburn, had 19 points. Their next highest guys were 9, 8, and 8. So really, they shut down, Illinois offensively. Arizona has too many weapons, I think. Koloko and Mathurin alone have just been so hot in this tournament, and I just think that's going to be too much for Houston to slow down.
What are you going to say?
Houston is my pick on my bracket to win the national championship. I think in basically every group I'm in, I'm the only person that has Houston, so I gotta ride it here. And I gotta say, I'm surprised with how much respect, which Houston has definitely. This is well-deserved respect after the way they've played through their first 2 games of the tournament. But right now, I mean, the money line on the game is Arizona minus 125 and Houston plus 105. It's basically pick 'em, and Arizona was. The number 2 overall seed going into the tournament? Number 2 overall seed, and they're facing a Houston who's not even a Power 5 team.
Well, not yet. They're about to be. But
wait, what conference is Houston?
They're moving to the Big 12.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good for Houston. I mean, Houston's basketball right now, it's like how Cincinnati's football was this year.
Yeah.
Cincinnati wasn't like
I mean, let's not forget Houston went to the Final Four last year.
They did?
Yeah.
And and they lost their top scorers. They had injuries at the start of the season. So I mean, mad props to them for what they've done and to get this far. This is one of those games where I feel like it's a coin flip and the line is pointing to
the line definitely reflects that.
Either way, so Vegas is respecting Houston, saying it's basically pick 'em.
Yeah.
About to be a Power 5 team, but why were they a 5 seed then? That seems kind of disrespectful.
Well, they're missing 2 of their best players. They both got hurt.
They're like grown men on the court. Like they are a tough team. They will rebound you. And part of the reason, I don't know if you watched that Illinois game, Chris, but Kofi Coburn was like dead with 10 minutes to go left in the second half because they were making him work hard.
That's all Illinois could do to get points was him. And I mean, I felt bad for the guy because it's like no one else.
At one point, even Reggie Miller was on the call with I forget who else, but at one point they were like, they got to just start throwing it off the backboard to get the ball to Coburn.
Dude, he said that, and I was like, whoa, that's not out of the box idea.
No, I mean, it's a good, I think you used to see it more, but it's like, oh, you got a 7-footer down there, just throw it off the backboard, let him get it. They were like, we just got to get this guy the ball any way we can. But Houston was making him work, and he was dead tired by the second half. So I'm riding with Houston here. It's kind of like that Duke Texas Tech game. I don't feel great about it, but I think a lot of people see such a small line and they're going to just be baited by the number 1 seed Arizona. They got to beat Houston. They're going to cover, by 2 points or whatever. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the public betting on Arizona heavy tonight.
I do like Koloko over 12.5 points too. I think they go tall tonight, and I think that they're able to attack Houston inside.
I think they have to, though. Watching that Zona TCU game, I mean, they were getting out rebounded left and right, and they're a good rebounding team. So I don't know. I'm going to go with Houston. I'm going to I acknowledge Vegas's respect and don't take it lightly. So it is a bit of a coin flip. I'll take Houston here. I'll take the dog.
And I'm seeing just on my CBS Sports app, I don't know where this data is coming from or how accurate it is, but it's saying 61% of the public is taking Arizona spread, while 39% is taking Houston spread. The money line bet is a little bit more even than that.
I mean, 61% for the number 2 overall seed. That qualifies as a toss-up.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
Yeah, I would have expected that to be higher for sure.
Doesn't it? All right, let's go ahead to tomorrow's games. First up, we got the best game that we're all looking forward to: St. Peter's and Purdue.
Yeah, and this is the biggest spread of the games. Purdue is favored by 12.5. St. Peter's, the third 15 seed to ever advance to the Sweet 16. The last 2 15 seeds did not advance past the Sweet 16, but they did both cover the spread. Purdue shot 46 free throws last game, which I don't think is going to happen this game. I like Purdue to win. I don't love touching this game. I think that spread is big. St. Peter's is very balanced. They don't rely on one player for their scoring, whereas Purdue, can go real heavy with Ivy averaging 17.6. Also, Purdue has Edey, the 7'4" guy, averages 14.5, but he only plays like 19 minutes. He played 20 minutes and 15 minutes. I'm curious to see if they use him more tonight. Because St. Peter's, again, very guard heavy. This is one that's more of a pass for me. If I had to pick one, I think Purdue minus 12.5. I think St. Peter's runs out of gas.
Yeah, to me, it's just such a mismatch. You've got that ED guy on Purdue who's like 7'4", and by the way, I mean he's 7'4", and he's not like, a lot of times you see guys that are that big and they're like uncoordinated, unathletic. That's not ED. He's nice under the basket. He's one of the best offensive rebounders in the country. I just don't know if St. Peter's has a guy to match up with him. But history fact here, we've had 2 15 seeds make it to the Sweet 16, Oral Roberts last year, and Florida Gulf Coast. When was that, like 2014?
It was 2013.
2013.
Because I was on spring break, and I had that was the year I had Georgetown making it to the finals.
Both teams, Oral Roberts and Florida Gulf Coast, lost, but both teams covered a double-digit spread. I think we're going to see the same story here. I think Purdue will pull this one out, but I think we'll see St. Peter's cover that 12.5 point spread.
I so want to go with St. Peter's. My heart is with St. Peter's. Jersey City's strong, but I can't do it. Just can't do it. Chris is hands off because of the spread. I'm inclined to agree with him, although Casey and Defo, the big guy over there, is an absolute pleasure to watch play basketball. But I'm going with you guys. I'm going with Purdue. Yeah, I'd be with Chris. Hands off on the spread. It's possible St. Peter's covers this. So, but I would just take Purdue the money line there. What about Kansas Providence? This is the second game tomorrow.
I don't love this one either. Kansas favored by 7.5. Kansas struggled in their last game. Providence was getting no love from Vegas. I don't know if you guys saw that, but they're the 4 seed. They were like 6th or 7th to win their region. They were getting no love. And now all of a sudden, they're in the Sweet 16. So really outdoing expectations, even though they're, following their seed line. I like Kansas to win, and I think they have a good shot at covering it. I haven't seen Providence play very much during the season. I mean, they lost to Virginia, Marquette, Creighton, Villanova twice. They really don't have a ton of key wins, whereas Kansas, has got some big wins. They won the Big 12 and they won the Big 12 tournament, and they've won 7 straight. The other prop is Remy Martin coming off the bench for Kansas. He had 15 points in game 1, 20 points in game 2. The over-under only 10.5 on Remy Martin, despite those 2 games. So that would be my favorite play here.
Providence looked extremely impressive against Richmond. That game was not. They won by 28 points. Is not close at all. I'm not sure how I feel about that spread. 7.5 points. I'll definitely take Kansas here, but I think there's a chance Providence covers. So in that regard, I'm going with Providence. What about you?
I'm going Providence here, and I'm going Providence ML.
Whoa!
Just sprinkling, not going crazy. But
all right.
I'm sprinkling a little bit. I believe it's plus 240 right now. I just am not. Everyone's talking about, okay, there are 16 teams left. What teams have the best chance of winning? A lot of people are throwing Kansas in there in that category, I believe. Let's just do this here. I'm going to pull up the futures to win the whole thing and see who the favorite is right now. And I believe if it's not Kansas, they are up there. But
favorites to win
right now.
Kansas,
Gonzaga
really?
and Arizona still probably, right?
I would have assumed Gonzaga would be. They're the number one overall.
Well, I'm not saying the top favorite. I'm just saying up there. Like they're gonna have
okay. All right.
College basketball futures. They're number 2. They're number 2 behind Gonzaga. It's Gonzaga, Kansas, then Arizona. So I just don't think they're that good. I think they're a very good team. I just don't think they're that good. I watched earlier in the year. We saw Kentucky beat.
Yeah, they wiped the floor with them too.
It wasn't really a close game, and we saw what happened to Kentucky earlier in the tournament to St. Peter's. I don't know.
All right.
From what I've seen, I'm not convinced by this Jayhawk team.
Okay, that's fair. What about this last game? This is maybe the one I'm outside of the Purdue game. I'm sorry, there's 2 left. Well, I
Two
skipped
left.
one. UCLA, UNC. This is interesting. Chris, is Jaime Jaquez, do we know if he's going to play?
So they haven't announced, but I saw some video of him walking to get on the bus, and he appears to be fine.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be a non-factor. I think he's okay. The story for me here is Carolina. They were up 25 points on Baylor, and they were dominating that game. And then Manic got a technical foul. He got disqualified, and it changed the momentum in that entire game. I mean, he had 26 points in 28 minutes. And then Baylor came back. They forced the game into overtime. But I mean, you break it down, Baylor took 81 shots in that game. UNC only took 57. I like UNC to win this game. I had UNC beating Baylor and making it this far in the tournament. I think UCLA doesn't score as many points. Both of their first games were, 57 and 72, whereas Carolina is scoring in the 90s. I think if Carolina can control the pace of this game, plus I think Manic's going to have a chip on his shoulder after getting kicked out last game. So I like UNC ML here.
I'm with you. UNC's looked very impressive the second half of Baylor notwithstanding because, Manic was out and the whole thing. But UCLA has not looked that impressive. That St. Mary's game was closer than the score indicates. They won by 16, but it was closer throughout. They beat Akron by 4 in the opening round. UNC's looked very good. They've already beat a 1 seed. I'm with you, Chris. UNC.
AB.
I'm going UCLA here.
Okay.
I've
And
been
the
on
2.5?
I'll take them to cover 2.5. I don't think it's that many points. I have UCLA winning in one of my brackets. Houston in my main one, UCLA in the other. And
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I'm sticking with UCLA.
Last one. This is one that I'm most excited about, other than the Purdue, the Purdue game, is Miami Iowa State, a 10 versus an 11. Chris, who do you got? I know who I got.
I have Iowa State, and I had Iowa State advancing this far in the Sweet 16. I even bet on them to advance to the Sweet 16 in the futures before the tournament.
Whoa.
I have liked them. They had 9 wins against top 100 teams during the season. They had a losing record in conference, but they started the season 12-0. They beat really good teams out of conference. Ride the hot hand. I think they're hot right now, and I just think that they end up winning this game.
I'm going Miami. Miami has looked so good. Their guards are their pressure defense is so freaking fierce and vicious. I like Iowa State, so this bums me to say this, but I'm going with Miami. And to cover.
I'm going Iowa State. I bet on Iowa State. Their first 2 games, they were underdogs, and so I have that affinity for them now. I got to keep riding with them.
All right.
Agreed, same.
All right, that's a wrap for the Sweet 16. I didn't realize that would take us as long as it did. Do we want to quickly go through Elite or want to go over to NFT trivia?
Let's go to NFT trivia.
Let's go to NFT. Okay, can you give me the charger, please? I'm about to die over here. All right, NFT trivia. So we do this segment every week on Thursdays, usually. And every week is a different trivia theme. And this week, in honor of the fact that the roadmap has a big guest on Tuesday, which Chris is going to tell us about, we thought we would do some NFT themed trivia. So the reason Chris is here is because Chris made the questions, and Aaron and I are going to embarrass ourselves by answering. But before we start, Chris, you want to tell us who is on Tuesday's show? I think it's Tuesday, right?
It is Tuesday, and yeah,
Okay.
the roadmap has had some huge guests. We're pulling out all stops. We're getting big guests. We have one of the biggest projects out there coming on Benzinga Live Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Cool Cats co-founder will join us live on stream, so don't miss that episode.
Tuesday, 2 p.m., right when this show is ending, Cool Cats on the roadmap. That'll be fun. All right. Enver/Rohan, is one of you there in the background ready to run our trivia? If you are, please start us up. And I'm going to throw in some tunage. If you don't know the rules, these are the rules. Put the number of the answer that you think is correct in the YouTube chat. We're going to add up let's go with this music. We're going with into space today. And we'll add up the whoever gets the most correct answers the quickest, and we'll give you all some Benzinga swaggy swag. Aaron said he has to pee. He'll be right back. Just so everyone knows. That's what he said just now. He's going to the bathroom as we speak. Let's start. All right, Chris.
All right. What does NFT stand for, Spencer? Not fun time, not from things, not a fiscal token, or non-fungible token.
If you asked a lot of people in NFTs right now, they'd probably say not a fun time. I would guess, right?
We tried to start with an easier one here. Some of these are going to be a little bit more tricky. They're going to be specific to projects, but this I think is a softball because we've heard so much about NFTs.
All right, I was afraid I wasn't going to get none of them right, but I'm glad to know that not a fiscal token.
I'm curious how many people got this wrong, though, or just liked some of the answers better.
It's not a fiscal token, right, guys? Right, guys? I'm seeing pretty unanimous that it's number 4. The crowd says 4.
Yeah, I think 4 is the only answer I saw.
The crowd can be wrong.
Oh, there it is.
All right. The crowd is not wrong.
All right, so everyone starts out 100%. Here we go.
Oh, boy. 1 down, 9 to go.
All right, we jump to Cool Cats, who's coming on the show next week. Cool Cats had a partnership with which magazine company? Time, Sports Illustrated, People, or Modern Cat? Spencer, do you know the answer to this one?
I do not know the answer to this. Oh, man. I'm going to go ahead and guess People.
Let's guess.
That's my guess. People magazine. I'm seeing a 1. I'm seeing a 4.
I'm seeing some 4s. They like that
I'm
Modern
seeing some
Cat.
4s. Modern Cat's not.
I don't know about that. Modern Cat is a real magazine, Spencer. I got that from Google, but it is not the correct answer.
You can't tell them before the time is up. All right,
It's
we have
up. Time's up.
We have a 2. We have a 1. I went with People magazine. Let's see. Let's see how we did. This one's pretty split. Stop guessing 0. That ain't gonna work. It was Time.
Time magazine. Time is getting big into NFTs. They have a whole division now, Timepieces. They've partnered with some big projects, so they are growing in that space. So yeah, Time was an early partner there. All right. Which of the following is the rarest CryptoPunk trait? Is it zombie? Is it ape? Is it alien? Or is it 3D glasses? Spencer, you know a lot about CryptoPunks?
I'm trying. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a bunch of them, but I'm trying to think of like what the rarest trait would be. It can't be it can't be the glasses. It can't be. I think I've seen. I'm going with alien. I was between zombie or alien. It can't be glasses. I feel like everyone I see has glasses.
Got a lot of mixed answers here. I'm seeing a lot of 4s and 3s though.
Yeah.
It is Alien and Spencer.
Nice. No, I've never seen an alien one before, which is that was how I knew.
There's not many, but they are.
I've seen the other ones.
Yeah. So an alien, zombie, and ape are the 3 rarest traits. So that was a little bit of a trick question. And then we turn to Bored Apes, right? Which of the following is the rarest Bored Ape Yacht Club trait? Is it trippy fur, laser eyes, gold fur, or cyborg eyes?
Right,
so
it was
2
definitely
fur
not.
and 2 eyes. What do you think, Spencer? Are you going to be able to eliminate 2 here?
I think it's got to be a fur, right? It's got to be a fur. It's got to be a fur. I just don't know which fur. They're saying it, a lot of people are saying 3. I'm gonna go with the crowd. People seem to think it's 3.
If people tune into the roadmap, they would know this answer because we had someone on who has one of these rare Bored Apes and actually has turned down several $1 million offers for his Bored Ape NFT. It features the rarest trait, which is
Wait, what did I say? I said gold fur. Okay. Yes.
Gold
Okay.
fur it is. Spencer, you're getting a lot of these.
I like to act like I know nothing, but I do know some things.
You do. You studied last night.
I may have. All right. Oh, what the hell?
Here's a fun one. Ozzy Osbourne endorsed an NFT
this
collection
one.
named what? Was it the Crypto Ozzies, the Crypto Bats, the Crazy Trains, or the Black Sabbaths?
All right. I feel like I remember reading about this like last year. Wasn't this last year?
It was this year.
This year? I feel like I remember reading about it. I put one. Wasn't there was a whole thing with Sharon Osbourne? Maybe I'm making that
Sharon
up.
talked about it. They did a trailer with Ozzy. They bought a Bored Ape because they could.
The crowd is saying it's all twos.
Yeah, a lot of twos out there, Spencer. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I don't know if I can change. I'm not going to change my answer because you got to have convictions. If you don't have your convictions, you have nothing.
You went one real fast, so.
I went one real fast because I remember reading about this. Maybe I'm just not remembering correctly, but I definitely remember this being like on Benzinga in the news.
There was an article on Benzinga about it. Crypto Bats,
damn.
Spencer.
All right.
I do like the name Crazy Trains, though. I had fun creating that name. So for anyone who knows Ozzy, of course, Crazy Train, one of his most famous songs.
That's one I would have guessed for sure. but
Crazy Trains?
obviously- I would have guessed that, but I would have been wrong.
All right. We got 5 down, 5 to go. And then after this, we're going to bring on Cowboy.
Which of the following celebrities does not own a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT to the public knowledge, at least now? Is it Steph Curry, LeBron James, Justin Bieber, or Jimmy Fallon? AB joining us once again. What are you thinking here, AB? Do you know the answer to this or know some of these?
I know for a fact Steph Curry and Jimmy Fallon have Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs. So I'm using deductive reasoning. I'm narrowing it down to Bieber and LeBron. I'm gonna go LeBron because I feel like I would have heard if LeBron has a Bored Ape Yacht Club, whereas if Bieber got one, that may have slipped under my radar.
Are you saying that because LeBron's a boomer? Is that why?
No, I'm just saying if LeBron would have gotten, like I knew when Steph Curry got one, I would have known when LeBron got one. I don't think he did.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
All right.
I'm guessing LeBron.
I also guessed LeBron because he's a boomer.
He's not a boomer.
Then again, so is Jimmy Fallon.
He's not a boomer. They're both not boomers.
Whatever,
The
man.
answer is LeBron James.
Say what you want.
Did it.
Say what you want.
Did you guys see that the Maple Leafs, they wore jerseys last night designed by Justin Bieber?
I saw that. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
They actually
they
went
love
bad.
being connected to him.
All right.
What year were CryptoPunks released? Was it 2019, 2018, 2017, or 2016? CryptoPunks release date.
This one I actually don't know. I'm going to go with 18. No, I'm going to go with 19. I don't know. I'm going to go with 19. That 19 seems right.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything before 19. I'm honestly, if you
No, it could be because think about like Ethereum, right?
I know, but like Top Shots to me were the first NFTs.
What happened to Top Shots? I know it's still around.
I don't know.
Still
That's
around.
Chris. That's
Supply
Chris.
issues. They started with low supply and now they have too many.
Supply and demand. Crazy. how
Also,
that works.
They did
didn't
launch
they-
the NFL ones though. NFL All Day from Dapper Labs, the parent.
Didn't they
company,
run?
so-
Didn't they run into problems where like you couldn't get your money out?
Yeah, that was a big problem from the start. Yep, 2017. guys.
What?
That's
No
why
way.
CryptoPunks is the OG. They were one of the first on the Ethereum blockchain way back in 2017 from Larva Labs.
gosh.
Imagine like leading that project for the first like 2 years, just being like, "No, trust me, guys. Like this is gonna take off."
All right, well, here's one with Top Shot as a possible
This feels
answer.
like-
What NFT collection has the highest sales volume all time? NBA Top Shot, CryptoPunks, Bored Ape Yacht Club, or Axie Infinity?
All right, this one I know how to find the answer, but I'm not gonna cheat. Gosh, I look at this page every month or so. It's been a minute though. I'm not gonna lie. Should I have to answer.
What do you think? AB, what do you think?
I'm going Bored Ape.
Oh wait,
Number three.
I did the wrong one.
I'm going number 3.
I did the wrong one. Wait,
Nope,
I
screwed up.
I hit 2,
You
but
screwed up.
I hit 2, but I meant to hit 3.
Maybe it'll be a happy little accident.
Yeah,
Bob
I don't
Ross
know.
style.
I don't know how that works. If you can change your answer.
I don't know. I feel like you can, as long as it's in before.
I don't know. We'll see. If I got this one, I think it's board 8.
Oh
my
Infinity, over $4 billion in sales. The reason why is because it's a play-to-earn game, and there's just so many of them. There's hundreds of thousands of Axes, whereas CryptoPunks and Bored Apes, there's 10,000. All right, question 9. World of Women signed a media agreement with a company founded by which famous celebrity? Was it Reese Witherspoon, Paris Hilton, Ava Longoria, or Beyonce?
I think I know this one, so I'm going to refrain from answering.
How about you?
But I know Paris Hilton has also been involved in the NFT space. Eva Longoria, not as sure, nor as I'm.
Yeah, I guessed Reese. Because
it's her Hello Sunshine company,
Hello
correct?
Sunshine, look at you, AB.
I know a thing or two. They keep me around for a reason.
Did you hear that Reese got stabbed?
This is a joke. I knew it right away. I almost fell for it.
I don't get it. I still don't get it.
You're supposed to say with a knife, and I go, no, with a spoon.
Why would I ask with a knife? If someone gets stabbed, I'm going to assume it's with a knife. I knew there was some stupid joke. I'm pissed off.
Oh, that was a good one. Come on, guys. All right. We got one left. All right. This is my last chance.
One question. All right. What is the name of the parent company of Bored Ape Yacht Club? Is it Yuga Labs, Larva Labs, Bored Ape LLC, or Ape LLC? If you pay attention to the news, you should know it because it's recently they got funded at a $4 billion valuation, a big funding round from celebrities and Anderson Horowitz.
Wait, is it true that it was a seed round? Is that what I heard? That can't be right.
One of the largest seed rounds of all time. It was a
that can't be right. How can that be a seed round? They didn't raise money before?
They had not.
That's crazy. Anyway, I this one I know the answer to because
Yeah, me as well. I actually know, so I guess surprisingly more about NFTs than I thought.
That's a story of your life, right?
Number 1, Yuga Labs.
Yuga.
Yuga.
All right, let's see who won this trivia. It certainly wasn't me or Aaron.
There were a couple where only a couple people got them right, so I'm curious.
Yeah, Axie Infinity. I think the Axie Infinity one only
like 2 people or something.
Yeah, 2 or 3 people.
So I'm curious if there were people here that ran the table, or if it's gonna be like someone got the championship with like 5 or 6 wins.
Who's that? Really?
8.
Daryl. I thought I saw a couple that he got wrong, and I assumed that he was not going to win.
8. 3 people got 7 right. Okay.
Wow, this is a nice dispersion. Only one person. We didn't have a tie today.
No tie.
That's impressive. Good questions, Chris. Daryl, you know what to do. Shoot us an email. I'll put up on the screen right now if I can find it, which I can't.
Hey-o. Congrats, Daryl. All right,
Congrats,
Chris.
Daryl.
Shows at Benzinga. Where's the damn email, man? Where is it?
Chris, always great to get you on the show.
Thank you. This has been fun.
Look forward to the next time. As always, maybe we'll do some more college basketball preview before the Final Four.
Wait, stay tuned in 10 minutes. The roadmap.
Yep. The road
is
in
live.
10 minutes. Yeah, we got a good one today. We got an interview with a Bored Ape holder, and we're also going to be going through the NFT Madness competition that Benzinga launched, which is in the round of 32 right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to that yet on this show, and we
You guys
may
might
not.
have to fill that out and see how many you actually know.
We played along with the first round.
Did you?
But I didn't see what the winners were. So
Okay.
all right.
Well,
All right.
check
See
it
you, Chris.
out. Take care, guys.
All right. We got our next guest here. Let me get rid of the tunes.
Cowboy, we're doing more betting, more college basketball. We did some with Chris, but we're going to do more. Let's bring on our guy, Cowboy.
What is
Mr.
going on?
Not a whole lot. It's Thursday, which means
that's a virtual background. That has to be.
No, it's not a virtual background. I'm down here in spring training. Simba Bets takes on spring training. We got to get our baseball in motion.
Oh, where
ahead?
what camp are you in?
We're down here in Arizona.
Okay.
Looking at the Angels, I want to see some Shohei Ohtani, especially with the new Ohtani rule that just took effect 2 days ago, allowing him to hit all game, every game.
I've never been to spring. That might be the number one thing on my sports bucket list right now is spring training.
I will tell you, it is unlike anything else in sports. It is a fantastic place to be. It is lively. It's fun. It's relaxed. It is very personal with the players. You get down there, you shake their hands. My kids love it. They go down there and get autographs and balls and things like that. And it's a ride. Everyone should take the time to either go to Florida or Arizona and do a spring training. And the tickets are cheap and the beers are cheap too. So about the only thing cheap in America right now, right, guys?
I want to go right now. Before this gets out of hand, let's talk basketball. Who you got tomorrow?
Easy plays today, guys. I told you Houston before. Houston. They're still being disrespected entirely. They're the second best team in the nation by KenPom. KenPom is the godfather of advanced analytics, and we're getting them to get points, plus 1.5. They've looked like the best team in the tournament so far by my eyes. And Arizona, they almost got exposed last game. They got bailed out. And, TCU plays the exact same type of basketball that Houston plays. Slow, grind it out, punch you in the face. So Houston plus 1.5, I am all over. Not Arizona minus 1.5. Houston plus 1.5 is the look for me, my strongest look in college ball today. And we have the number 3 offense versus the number 3 defense. Maybe what wins championships?
Defense.
That's correct. And Houston has the number 3 defense.
And by the way, this wasn't saying we're taking Arizona. I think we were just listing. We have the favorites listed on all these little banners.
Gotcha.
So Houston, we discussed a little bit earlier on the show. I'm taking them as well tonight. By the way, Cowboy, I think last time you were on, we talked about which teams are in that top 25 of offensive and defensive efficiency. You had Houston in there. You had UCLA.
You had Arizona in there.
You had Arizona
Correct.
in there. Yep. But
it was the only 2 eliminated so far are Auburn and Baylor, and the Auburn one shocked me actually, guys. I was big on Auburn. I had them coming out of that division with that region, and they lost. So it happens. I mean, I tell everybody you can know everything there is about college basketball, and when it gets to March Madness, just throw it out the window half the time. Who would have had St. Peter's in the Sweet 16 at this point? And they're a strong look against Purdue, in my opinion. They play a style of basketball that will annoy Purdue. Purdue is run and gun, go ho ho, and St. Peter's is dirty. And 12.5 points is too many because they just play and grind. They're gonna rub down on Purdue. They're grit and grind. I like 12.5 points there for a 15 seed. And traditionally,
interesting.
When these 15 seeds make it to the Sweet 16, 15, 14, 13 seeds make it to the Sweet 16 or higher, and they get bounced, they don't get bounced by double digits. Go back and look.
Nope.
They
we
lose
just
by
talked
6-7 points.
Yep, the last 2 15 seeds, or the only 2, Oral Roberts and Florida Gulf Coast, both lost in the round of Sweet 16, but both covered. They both had double-digit spreads. So St. Peter's in a similar story, plus 12.5. So we like the points there, Cowboy.
Yes, we love the points, and we love the fact that they play such a slow pace that Purdue's strength is the number 4 offense in the nation, and their defense is ranked 100, and they cannot outscore. They will outscore St. Peter's when it's all said and done, but St. Peter's will grind on them, wear them down. They rebound the ball extremely well. We saw it against Murray State, and this is not a matchup for Purdue that they want to see.
Got it. All right. I just had the futures pulled up. Do you like, just looking at you have, let's see. I don't know why it's not loading now. But you have Kansas as the number 2 favorite behind Gonzaga. Is there anyone in the field right now that you feel like would be worth sprinkling a little bit on a future on to win the whole thing?
If you haven't got on Houston yet, I suggest you get on Houston. Their wings are incredible. I really do believe the winner of this game tonight is going to be the national champion, Houston or Arizona. Whoever wins this game will end up winning the whole thing.
All right.
That is my belief. Gonzaga is still grotesquely overvalued. Tonight, I like Arkansas to 10. Gonzaga has been down by double digits in both games so far. They've looked very vulnerable. They've had to rely on Time to bail them out, essentially. Chet Holmgren has looked human. And now they're out of the North. Now they're out of Portland, and they're not playing so close to home. They're in San Francisco. So I think Gonzaga, while they'll still probably make the finals, I'm not going to jump in with both feet on them at plus 200. Not good value. I would say Houston And Texas Tech, believe it or not, Texas Tech has the long wings, the junkyard dogs, the defense. I like defense. That's a great sprinkle in my opinion as well.
Yep, plus 1,300 right there for Texas Tech. Yeah, Gonzaga, something that's been interesting, I've been trying to watch this tournament, Cowboy, is like the teams that have players that are either projected high draft picks or like borderline top 10 picks, guys that in my mind would really be trying to outperform this time of the year to prove to NBA scouts and coaches that they're worth a draft pick. And I've kind of been disappointed in Holmgren in that sense, because he's been talked about as like a top 5 NBA pick. But if I'm an NBA GM right now watching the tournament, I'm not that blown away by what Chet Holmgren has done so far.
The potential's still there. You can't teach 7-1. You can't teach how to dribble at 7-1. You can add 40 pounds on that frame. The potential's still there.
40. Try 100.
Yeah, right. He did very quietly almost have a triple-double in the first round. He 14, 15, and I believe finished with 8 blocks. So he's still putting up the numbers, but it's an underwhelming numbers.
Yeah, and even in that last game where he was struggling offensively, I think he only had 9 points. He still had like 4 blocks and 10 rebounds or something. So it wasn't like his production was gone when he couldn't score. But and same with Auburn and Jabari Smith. I was like, oh, this guy's gonna, turn it up and go off because he's looking to be one of the top 5 draft picks, and that was kind of a letdown as well.
So on the contrary to the people looking forward to the pros, you can also play the other side of the narrative. Arkansas is led by 3 seniors. They're playing Gonzaga tonight, who is full of premier NBA talent. While Arkansas, this is it for them. This is their Super Bowl per se. They're going to come out firing. They're going to come out and play and slow the pace. They can score with Gonzaga. I think they're going to slow the pace down to what they're comfortable with. But they have 3 seniors that they're led by, and this is it for them. They're not going to the NBA. They're not going to be. They'll be playing overseas probably, but there is some value there when you have a group of seniors that have been together for 4 years. They know what they have for breakfast before the other guy does. And look for Arkansas to cover the 10 as well tonight. I do like that play.
And what about, on the same note as Arkansas, UCLA? UCLA went on a run last year, and they pretty much returned their whole team this year. They've got a more experienced team than a lot of teams out there in the field.
Boy, I am tossed up right here on this matchup. North Carolina has got all the momentum in the world, and March is about momentum. And they held on for dear life against Baylor, rightfully so. They did get the win, but the way they score, UCLA can keep up with them, and they can both score at will. It's the wings for UCLA that do it for me, though. Once again, the wings in March Madness mean everything, and they can score at all 4 positions. UCLA probably squeaks by there, but man, it's hard to bet against North Carolina at this point with the momentum that they have. I mean, they're dropping 95 points every game.
Yeah, and of course they came off that big Duke win heading into the tournament, and now obviously won the first 2 games. Yeah, this one's a toss-up for me too, Cowboy. I personally am going UCLA just because I've already picked them in some of my brackets to go to the Final Four and whatnot, so I'm leaning UCLA, but I don't feel great about it.
Well, listen, they fit the narrative, though. They're top 25 defensive efficiency, top 25 offensive efficiency. So you should pick UCLA. The raw numbers, at the end of the day, will carry you through a lot farther than anything else, and that is what we have to base ourselves off of. They are one of the 6 teams that I said have a realistic chance at winning this, and they're still here for a reason.
All right.
Cowboy joining us from spring training. Any findings in the baseball world? I feel like I've been seeing people talk about that Marsh guy on the Angels.
We actually catching our first game tomorrow, so we just got in. So I'll have to do a little more due diligence now. Now it's poolside time, and I am excited to watch the Angels play.
All right.
Baseball in general, Dodgers. I don't like the Dodgers, but I mean, good golly, when you spend that kind of money and you put that kind of lineup together with that kind of rotation, only a madman would want to bet against the Dodgers at this point, right?
I know, it just scares me. I feel like there's been other times in the past where I've looked at a baseball lineup before the season starts and thought there's no way this team doesn't win the World Series, and for some reason that formula is just not there.
Every year.
To buy a team that you can't. Remember when by the way, speaking of the Angels, when they went out and signed Josh Hamilton, Albert Pujols, C.J. Wilson, they had like the biggest payroll in baseball, and their roster looked fine on paper, but I don't even think they broke 500 that year. The next 2 years after that.
That was bad.
No, they didn't. Then they got young again, and now they're young again. Trout will be back healthy this year, and I mean, Trout's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's the best player in baseball today. Every year he still is. So he'll be back, and he's going to carry that offense. And I think the Ohtani factor will cool off a little bit. The media was surrounding him all last year to cool off a little bit, which will help the team significantly. They'll be able to focus more on baseball and not have to worry about the Japanese media following around. They'll still be there. Don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be to the extent of what it was the last season.
Cowboy, we got to hop. Thanks for coming on today.
All right. Take care, guys. Thanks so much.
Guys, before we go, wanted to remind you that today is the last day to vote for round 3 of Benzinga's Stock Market Madness. I'm putting the link in the chat right now and on the screen. So there it is. It's on the screen. Well, now it's on the screen. And it's in the chat. Check it out. Vote for round 3 ends. Round 3 voting. I'm sorry. Today's not the last day. The last day is Sunday. Voting ends on the 26th. Whoever gets the most right guesses will win $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. This contest is brought to you by Public.com, the investing platform where you can build a modern day portfolio your way. Invest in stocks, ETFs, crypto, all in one place. Start investing today. Be sure to cast your vote for Stock Market Madness on that link that I just put up on the screen. Thanks to all of our guests today. We got to hop because we got the roadmap coming up live right now. So that's it for us. I'm going to go eat some Wingstop. So AB, smash the like. See you later.
See you tomorrow.